All right, so what are we getting into?
9 years in the game. Whoa.
Yeah, because it was meant to do this last week, probably, but we forgot.
5th of October, apparently 2010 was the first recording or the first broadcast of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. How I wrote it on the Twitter is that we went from what is a podcast to you've got a podcast as well. Because that's exactly how it is. When we started, nobody knew what a podcast was. They weren't interested in listening. What's the station? Bro, it's not on a station. You have to do it on your phone. What? How? Who? How? Where?
This is how deep it was. We was on Tumblr before it was porn.
That's how deep it was.
Before it was porn.
Yeah, we posted on Tumblr before we was on SoundCloud.
Because Tumblr is no longer, nobody uses it for other things but posting pictures now. But we used to actually use it for sound. That was where we used to post our podcast on Tumblr.
What kind of counting was that?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects. Welcome to another episode of Eloquently Saying Nothing. This is episode, I don't know the number. What's the number?
221.
221 people. I am your host today.
And the ladies are going wild. Stifle Simonty.
Which is true, you know. I am your host today at Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. As a collective, you can catch us ESN at esnpodcast@gmail.com for emails. Hashtag ESNpod.
To join the conversation.
If you want to join this thing. And yeah.
Who else do you have in the room with you tonight?
You blacks.
No, that sounds so much better.
On my right, we have.
What's going on, people? It's your boy DJ Webslinger. DJ Webslinger on Instagram, DJ Webslinger on Twitter. I've been spinning webs, that's why you haven't seen me.
Spinning webs.
And on his right, we have.
What's going on, people? You can catch me on aka Mr. Wolf on Insta, aka _Mr. Wolf on Twitter. Yoruba proverb is a cockroach that dances See, I can't say this word, you know.
Unconsciously?
No.
Unconscionably?
Unconscionably. Unconscionably?
Unconscionably.
Yeah, okay. A cockroach that dances unconscionably falls prey to the hen's sword. I don't know why Americans, they say sword. That means even in a good thing, moderation is crucial. Immoderation can exact hefty fees. Yes.
Confession, I didn't know immoderation was a...
I read that and I thought that as well. So
in moderation or in
immoderation.
Immoderation.
Yeah, as in the opposite of moderation.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. There was two words. One I couldn't actually read out and the other one I wasn't sure.
I thought in moderation, the opposite of moderation was too fucking much.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Too fucking
Immoderation.
much.
Yeah, so yeah, man. Anyway, that's Yoruba proverb this week. What's going on? It's Wolf in the building.
One.
Good to be here. And to my right, we have...
I am Stavros Bus. Get down. You can catch me at Stavros Bus everywhere. And I can't hear myself. Is it just me that can't hear myself?
I too cannot hear. Well, I can, but it's very...
It's low now.
I can't hear you through the headphones.
I can hear through the headphones.
You can?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, anyway, there you go. Yeah, that's me.
And on your right, you have...
Oh, okay. On my right, we have...
This is a ghetto love story. He was speaking to her via telecommunication. She implored that she has no children, neither daughter nor son. He said he would be there right away. She said he must hurry. So as he ran to the estate door and pressed the intercom, she said the lift is not working, and so you will have to run up the flights of stairs until you get to my abode.
I know this one.
He said if you do not hurry up, she said if you do not hurry up, there will be no fun. So he grabbed some roses from the local bush and ran to the top of the stairs, where he met her for their rendezvous. Gaza. That was a short excerpt from a poem by the Right Honourable Barrington Levy. In its original rendition, it is called Here I Come, and it sounds like we have a little bit of a technical issue in the studio. Something like this.
And the intercom said they tell them to come. He said she didn't have a daughter, she did have a son.
Shit out, man.
On the intercom, Rosa tell me to come.
Gaza.
She did have a son, she said the lift don't work. Come up the stairs and run. I did it out, run in there, gonna see your son.
And I started to run.
Here I come. 2 months later, cause I don't want no baby to come tie me down. You are old and I am young.
Yes, while I'm young, yes, I wanna have some fun, run me down.
Skiddly waddly diddly 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 whoa.
Hold on.
Gaza. No.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. So wait
Yeah.
a minute. Wait. So this is about a deadbeat mum.
Well, here's the thing.
A waste mum.
This is about a waste mum.
Here's the thing though. There's bare details on this that are like dodgy to me. Like, first of all, he goes to the yard for the link, they do up sex, I'm guessing. 2 months later, come and collect your son. So how does this work?
Maybe they linked before, innit?
No, but what did she say she had? She said she didn't have a daughter, she had a son.
She doesn't have a daughter and she don't have a son.
So then how did they come in 2 months?
That's what I'm saying
That's
to you.
Jamaican pregnancy right there.
Right.
Nollywood.
Yeah, and Nollywood, for real.
Nollywood.
But hold on. Because he could have been doing grease and she could have been pregnant while he was banging the 2 months.
Could have been.
So he would have banged her 9 months before.
Could have been the previous.
Or 7 months before, sorry.
Previous
And,
child.
and he's come back to bang while pregnancy.
Maybe.
You know, he likes that category on the porn.
Wow.
Why are you shaking your head?
Maybe.
Go on, because Russian just doesn't mean good. That's what
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
God. Either you accept it or you don't.
I didn't say anything.
All you're doing is putting me off with all this.
Now you know what it feels like when I'm doing with you.
Well, anyway, so yeah, carry on going.
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter, I am Simple Gaza Fist Simon. Bang, bang, bang.
Dead.
Da-da-dang.
Yeah, so this week, I don't know what topics we've got. Stab has some written down, but I don't know if you put it. I haven't got my phone with me. My phone's over there charging. So can I have somebody else's phone?
Should we start with Tyler Perry?
Yeah, why not?
That was one of them.
Why not? Well, let's start with Mr. Tyler Perry. In fact, before we do that, actually, obviously people have been away for a week. I haven't seen you for like 6 months.
What's going on?
How's everybody been, bruv? What's going on? What everybody's life been this week?
Well,
Boy.
people have been on cruises and people have been AWOL. So, and that isn't me.
Yeah,
So
let's start with those two.
Let's start with the cruise.
the Rastas.
Fuckers.
for real. Go ahead.
Yeah, man did cruise life, innit? His first time and that.
It's good.
Broke my virginity and that.
What do you think?
It's an experience. It's one of those things that I would say that you should do at least once in life. Just because it's so for me, I find it quite bizarre. Like, this whole notion of you're on a ship, but they make the ship in such a way that they try to make you forget that you're on a ship. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then I might as well be on land.
No, man, because you're going somewhere.
I hear that. It's just a weird concept. Like,
What's weird about it? That was before planes and all that stuff. That's what people were doing.
no, I get it. And it's a good experience. I wouldn't discourage anyone from doing it at all. It's a good experience, definitely.
But you don't feel the urge to do it again.
I would say I would do it again, but I'm not like everybody else who I know who's done cruises are like they've booked their next cruise before they've got off of this cruise.
Bruv, I'm telling you.
So yeah, I didn't have that kind of.
No, man, it's okay.
So you enjoy it enough that you would do it again?
Definitely. Yeah, we're just, yeah.
I don't understand why people enjoy cruise.
No, again, this is what I'm saying. It's one of those things you got to go on it. You got to go on it first before you might understand it. I understand why they enjoy it, but the level to which they enjoy it, people booked their next cruise before they got off there's an office on the actual boat that is 4 cruises. It's called Next Cruise.
Are these people all inclusive?
That's what the office is called.
Do they enjoy? Do they usually go all inclusive when they go on holiday?
I'll tell you what, the demographic here is getting younger, but the demographic of cruises is like the older generation.
Yeah, but do they normally go all in when they go on their holidays?
I don't know what the older generations do when they normally go on all the holidays.
Because you think it's all-inclusive business.
Yeah, some people are getting enticed by the all-inclusiveness of the thing. Everything's there.
That would be a part of it.
Can you not do all inclusive on a boat? You have to get off and go and swim to shore and get breakfast.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's all inclusive by default. So
yeah, so some people, when you go on a holiday, you might not book all inclusive. You might book half board. You might book full board. You might board bread and breakfast. But when you go on an all inclusive, it's like a different kettle of fish than when you do all of those board things. because you just go everywhere, especially if you go ultra all inclusive. I'm not really a normal all inclusive person. I tend to either go ultra or whatever you can get.
What's ultra all inclusive?
So you got the normal all inclusives where you can just get whatever things you want, but then you might have only the local brands of stuff.
The local spirits, you get
Yeah,
me?
no,
You don't have Cavassier. You have Cavassier.
You got Tesco brand water.
Yeah. or you may have access to certain restaurants, but not all restaurants.
Yeah.
And then the ultra all inclusive means you just got access to everything.
So when
Like where you just go everywhere, you don't even look. You look at them like they're peasants when they walk past you.
So
with their other handband, like.
So when is this ultra option? Where isn't that available?
That tends to be in like the Caribbean and places like that.
Okay.
Well, some of them is doesn't matter where you're going.
Yeah.
It's just you
get
choose
the
different package.
Yeah, you got different packages.
Like let's say there's 3 tiers of
Gold, silver, and
all-inclusive.
bronze.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
There's different.
I never
For what's the
done
point?
it.
Because you will probably book a flight
Because you're the peasant.
and then book a hotel.
No, I've done all inclusive before. I've just never seen it when I've booked all inclusive. For me,
there are some places that do that.
for me, I just thought it's all inclusive is all inclusive.
No.
It depends, and it depends the type of hotel you go to as well.
Yeah, because some all-inclusive includes all of the spa treatments, the this, the that.
Goddamn.
You spend all the money there. But that's different type of kettle of fish. But yeah, but it's definitely Caribbean and them places that definitely have like the different tiers. Mexico as well is another place that has different tiers of all-inclusiveness.
Bougie guy. Look at this bougie guy over
Bro,
here.
when I holiday. But this holiday that I'm going soon, I'm going to on a sandals one. They've got some different levels of madness. Like they had the level that I said I don't even want.
Is it?
Yeah, they have like the
Wash your balls in the morning.
no the what do you call the thing?
The royal penis is cleaner.
The butler level service.
Yeah.
Where you got a mobile phone and they've got a mobile phone and you call them to come and do stuff for you.
That's not bad.
Nah,
That's VVIP.
I don't like that type of stuff.
Why is that?
I don't like people doing things for me. So why would I spend money for somebody to do something I don't like?
You call Jeeves to come and change your sheets.
All inclusive by definition is people doing stuff.
Jeeves,
No,
come and change my
all
sheets.
inclusive by definition. I'm going to a restaurant. It's like I'm going. Okay, if you're talking about
there
something
you
like
go.
that, no. But if you're saying that that's like me going to a restaurant.
You're both right.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All inclusive is instead of me having to pay for the meal, I've already paid for the meal. That's what all inclusive is.
And the drinks.
And all inclusive doesn't mean that they're going to serve you either. You can serve yourself a lot of the time in all inclusive.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, what do you mean? When you go to all inclusive, you serve yourself.
A lot of the
Especially
time
for
it's buffets,
breakfast.
isn't it?
Especially the breakfast.
So with this sandals one, where you can have the phone to call the butler, it's like you can call Mandem to bring me some hoes, please.
Well, I'm sure you can do other things, but you might do that as well. But so you might you have like a balcony sometimes. So I think my one, I don't know if mine's got a balcony. This one, but let's say I have a balcony, so you can call them and tell them to bring breakfast for you.
Yeah, man.
Oh, to the balcony.
No, I need that service, man.
I could never do. I'm like, why would I want somebody to come to my bedroom and bring me breakfast?
I would like breakfast on the balcony.
Especially if I go to Jamaica or something, it's going to be like, yo, Jeffrey, bring a bag of
Cereal.
weed.
Nah, man,
Bring a
'cause-
bag of weed, no.
Cereal.
All I'm doing is just giving this man
Send
money
for the herb cereal.
That's all that's gonna happen. So I think I've got a different one. I think I don't have the butler service when I'm going. I've got the concierge service, which is kind of similar still.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the difference?
The who
There's-
service?
I don't have a particular man. I
concierge.
mean, I just call the concierge and tell them to do what it is. But I don't have a particular like.
You don't have Jeffrey.
Yeah, I don't have the man that's
Yeah, but I
coming to
thought you
knock
don't
on my
like people doing stuff for you.
I'm not gonna use it. But the butler service, if I had it, I'll pay you for it. This one just comes as part of my package.
Okay. All right.
Why don't you use it just for the experience?
I don't want it. She wanted it though. Or she was thinking, I'm not paying extra money for somebody to come and bring
How
food.
much extra was it, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it's about a couple of hundred, maybe about 300-400 on top of that.
So hold on, let me get this right. Since we're in
Must be
bougie,
good to be you, innit?
and yeah, since we're in Bougieville talking bougie shit,
Look, just notice that this man has taken it off him. You know?
No, we're going back to him still, don't worry.
goddamn 47. So yeah, since we're in Bougieville talking bougie shit, when it comes to upgrades, are you upgrading your seat on the plane or at the
I don't
destination?
care about the plane.
You don't care about the plane,
I don't care. About
even if it's a long haul flight.
I don't care about the plane.
Interesting.
As long as I'm not sitting in the middle, I'm good.
Okay.
Or not, no, as long as I'm not sitting in the middle or the aisle seat or whatever the seat is at the window seat, I need to sit on the aisle. As long as I'm sitting on the aisle, I'm good.
So if you're not,
Then I have to you have to deal with it, innit?
then would you potentially think about extending it?
Probably not. I don't see the point of spending that extra money for it.
Would you not pay extra to change your seat?
It depends on how much extra it is.
If you do see it, why you just wouldn't do it, because you understand.
Okay, yeah, I
being on the
understand.
aisle means you can stretch your feet out.
Yeah, okay.
And being in the middle means
okay,
you can't.
I understand the reasoning for it. I don't want to spend that money for that reasoning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't see like I wouldn't. If something like first class or business class or something wasn't that much more expensive than what I'm spending, then I might do it. but I'm not spending an extra £1,000 to go to the same place that somebody else is spending less than £1,000 to go to, just because I might be in a little bit more comfort.
So what is the barometer? What's the limit for going up?
If it was like an extra maybe £100 or £200, maybe I might do it.
Jeez.
But if he's telling me that it's an extra £1,000, I'm not doing it.
Stav Ricky, what are you saying?
I didn't, what, to upgrade?
Yeah.
What? To economy, premium economy, or going now into business first class?
Is it upgrade?
Am I turning left without into the plane?
That one there, boy. Hi guys, see you later, guys.
No, like, just, are you likely to upgrade the flight or the destination?
Oh, destination for sure, but it depends. Destination, just destination, because I
Get
guess
longer, man.
Yeah, I've done from economy to premium economy maybe once.
How did you like it?
Maybe two. It wasn't that much more, so it was there. And then when we had the baby and we were traveling so much with her, fortunately they would always give us, I can't remember what they called it, the front.
That's the
But
extra leg room.
There's a name for it, but yeah. And so a lot of the time for the last few years,
Yeah.
I've been lucky to have those seats anyways. So for me, I'm more about where I'm going. If there's excursions or
Whipping excursion.
not necessarily having butler and
Beat me
stuff.
to it, bro.
But if there's stuff that I can pay the money for there,
Yeah.
then I'll do it.
Okay. Mr. Wolf,
What's going on?
upgrade flights, destinations.
Nah, I'm all about the whole experience, actually.
Yeah, but you're short, so you don't need extra leg room.
You're funny.
I got corn for you today,
Swept the leg anyhow, you know.
Corn for you today.
His leg is hanging on the floor.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg. You know
You know
what I'm saying?
what? My missus just wouldn't understand anything like sweep the leg. She'd look at me like, what are you on about?
We've had this discussion before.
Yeah, but it happens all the time. And I look at her in disappointment. And then I realize I'm blessed with such a good wife. And then I just have to shrug. But so, like pop media references, she just don't get it.
Yeah, the 80s kind of comedy type flicks.
Tell her to watch
And-
the
and-
Goldbergs.
Yeah.
Tell her to watch, the Goldbergs
She
and
don't
just
really
Family Guy.
She's
Family Guy's
Family
good.
Guy references
yeah, but
all of our
yeah, but
childhood.
she's just going over
She
your
won't
head.
understand it though.
It's going over your head.
But if you watch the Goldbergs are set in that time and they kind of explain the little things.
Don't even know what the Goldbergs is.
Oh, it's about a program that about some
Jews.
Yeah, basically. But it's about a program about I think he's a director now. Is he a director?
Yeah, he's director.
He's a director, so he's basically just made a program about his childhood. And he's growing up in the 80s and stuff like that, and him and his family. It's a really good program.
It's almost like the Wonder Years, but it's a bit more comical.
Took the words
Yeah.
out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's literally like the Wonder Years. Even the guy looks like the brother looks like the.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good program. I quite like it. The mum is really, really, really funny.
The one
mum's a
is
G.
about the 70s and that one's about the 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's try and give it. Try and give it a check it out if you can. Anyway, at some point, the Goldbergs.
So I'm saying, Webbs, you?
It depends how I'm feeling. I don't mind upgrading my seat to be a bit more comfortable. And when it comes to the flight or the destination, yeah, why not? If I can afford it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But you what are you?
Who, me?
Who are you?
That's why you're easy. You're easy like Sunday morning, innit?
Why are you gay?
Why?
That video is that video is so funny. No, I'll never get bored of that video. I was watching it the other day. I won't lie, and it's when he looks off camera to his other crew members like he's baffled, like.
Anyway, so we're gonna say, God, so
You are gay.
Yeah. No, I normally end up doing destination, but these days I'm more likely to do plane seats now because I can't take my knee rubbing on the seat in front. It's too much.
So when you get there, you're happy to stay in okay, so let's say that you're gonna get a wicked first class flight to there, yeah. But then when you get to the hotel, you're in like not even a suite. You're in like a normal
Box room.
Man said not even a suite, like it's standard.
There's no toilet in,
Like
in
it's
the
standard.
room.
Look at his face. Not even a suite.
You have to come out your room and do a shared toilet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're one there.
No, obviously,
integrate rooms.
Oh my God. Yeah, if the way up is that, then obviously I'm gonna go for. But it's because I'm traveling with my family. Like I'm trying to optimize their comfort more than anything. Do you know what I mean? And my missus is like roughly the same height as I am, so the leg thing rubbing on the chair in front is a real drama for us.
Okay, well you can just get the aisle seats.
Yeah, we
Whatever,
try to, but then the aisle seat I keep getting clapped.
Not
on the side
aisle,
of
sorry,
my-
the one that's at the front.
Yeah, the war for that is you can't get that, man. You can't get that, man.
I've got them. I've got them from the flight I'm going this now.
Where you going?
I'm
Hold
going.
on. You would have, but you.
I paid extra for that.
Oh, so you
Oh, you paid
then?
extra.
Yeah, because she wanted. No, but this is the compromise. Yeah, she wanted to go all first class or whatever. I said, I can't. I said we get to see at the front. Because I bought to see at the front.
We don't have money for that.
She didn't even ask you about the premium economy.
Huh?
She didn't ask you about premium economy.
No, she wanted premium economy or one of them other ones.
Yeah.
But even regardless, I was not paying the extra money. It was just too much money. I already this holiday has cost me about $7,000
Jesus!
Is this your
Kai
honeymoon?
Mohammed.
for the honeymoon. Yeah.
I need a new car as well, you know. God damn. Oh my God. Trust me.
For real.
It's a lot, man.
So we learned to say us because some of it was from the funds.
Okay.
Of the wedding funds.
Fair enough. It's honeymoon season, isn't it? I guess.
Ours was 5.
Raw. So you're out doing.
So where you going?
I'm going to Jamaica and I'm going to Miami.
Okay.
I did Miami. I didn't leave one country. No, I was in one country. You're going to 2.
Bruv,
I was 3 different places, but in one country.
the things that she actually wanted, so she's compromising on a lot of stuff because I just said we cannot do that. Like the thing she wanted at first was to stay in one of those water huts.
So she's realizing now that she married a broke boy.
Yeah, she has to.
I'm joking.
The water huts, you know the ones that are underwater that float underwater. Yeah. So at first we was going to end up going to like Maldives or whatever. But then I was like, what are we going to do there when we get there?
Ooh.
So then eventually it changed to we'll go to Jamaica. So I said, you know what, let me try and see if I can find one of those water huts in the Jamaica ones, yeah? So I did find places that kind of had the water huts. So I was like, okay, cool, boom. So I can even have it, so we can, like, that's a wicked type of compromise as they call it. So she gets what she wants in a place where maybe I think would be better for us. You know how much it was per person? In fact, guess.
It's
$550.
No, it's
$2,000.
Per person, yeah? You're saying £2,000 per person.
That's what I was coming
You're
up.
saying 550. What's that?
550.
£550 per person.
In Jamaica.
Let's leave him. That's his guess. Go on.
Have you been to Jamaica before?
No.
No.
Go on. What's your guess?
Well, the man didn't bat alley that 2K, you know. So it must be more.
Go on.
But I would have said just under 2K. So I'm going to stick with what I'm thinking. I would have said about, around 2K per person.
I was going to say 2K initially, but I think probably 3-5 now.
I think maybe I was getting it wrong in my head, but it's still, you're also too low. It's either 5,500 per person or £11,000 per person. One of the two.
Why? Are they
I'm going to assume it's 11.
Are they washing bulls?
For the 2 of them.
Are they washing bulls?
No, 11 per person.
No, because he's got 5.5 and 11. In my head,
I'm trying to remember what if the total was 11.
He's times 5.5 times 2, and that's 11.
I'm just remembering the right hand side total, but I'm not sure if that was the right hand side total.
It scarred him.
I'm not sure if that was per person or what, but yeah, it might have been 5,500 or something
5.5 sounds like it.
per person,
That's big mash.
And then outside of the fact you're in that,
or maybe even 5 days.
you're in that setting, what else does it come with?
I'll just flood the room.
It's come with the same thing that everything else.
Is this
comes
the same sandals business?
Yeah,
it's
so you-
sandals, isn't it,
So
man?
you walk into the sea and all this palaver, pong, pong, pong. But yeah, it's not really giving you that
I'm
much.
busting
difference.
nuts
So
in the
I got,
water,
I
mate.
got
I
the
want
what's it
fish
called?
children.
I got the what's it called room instead. The beachfront room. So the one where you walk into the oceanfront room. So the one you can walk into the ocean. I think that's the one I got.
Oh my God. Just walk into the ocean from your room.
Apparently, yeah. So you got like a little thing and you can walk into the ocean. But we'll see how it gets when we get there. It's the honeymoon ocean suite type thing.
So back to your cruise.
yeah.
Because I'm after my one cruise, and I co-sign what you said. When I was on the cruise, everybody on that cruise had been on another cruise. It was like,
But they were old.
they were my age plus older. We were a young couple.
Okay.
So yeah. So we had some younger people. There were families, older people that had children that were in their teens and whatnot. But yeah, we wouldn't be classed as the typical age.
Okay.
But it's not like much older. It's not like it was all 80-year-olds. It's 6 people in their 50s and
Cool.
you know how mad it is now because that's not far from United. People in
Yeah.
their 50s. Back in the day, it was like 50s. God damn. But everybody, this is their 3rd cruise, 4th cruise, 5th cruise. It's standard. And I understand why. So for me, it's like I know you're a seasoned traveler as well. And I understand that you like setting your foot on land and roaming land. But so do I. But this was a lovely bit to do in between the setting the foot. So I'm confused as to why you didn't find it fantastical.
I don't know. Maybe what class of ship did you go on?
Just a good one.
Yeah, but which
I don't know.
which company was it?
MSI.
MSC.
MS something.
MSC.
Sound like one gang in it.
Okay, so that's the Italian lot. Yeah, it depends on what
It was a good ship though.
what class of ship you go on.
Good ship, good staff. It's like, this is what, cause as much as I've been to, when you go to a high-end restaurant, this is what it was like when anywhere outside of the buffet area where you just go and serve yourself. Any other places when you sit down and all that stuff, you have to wear tux to the all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So it was just. I didn't wear tux. I wore traditional African dress. I said, "Fuck them. They have to understand. This in my country. This is what we consider to be formal wear."
And they didn't try to
They didn't disturb man at all. I see. Everyone was like, the people in tuxes were looking at me like, "Oh, so what are you doing then?" I was like, "Nah." I walked with my head high and everything. Let them see them colours.
I think they're happy for that. Yeah, I don't think they're so closed off that it's like it's just evening wear, innit? Whatever your evening wear happens to be.
Yeah.
So be it.
So I went there one thing. It's mad. There was a casino on there.
Yes.
There was a pub on there. There was 3 bars on there.
Yes.
4 restaurants outside of the buffet restaurant. So there was
it just sounds like a hotel to me.
Theatre.
There's a theatre on there.
Yeah.
There's a cinema.
There's hotels that's got that.
Ice skating rink.
That is different.
There was
how many swimming pools?
There was 3 swimming pools on this one, plus a flow rider thing, which is like like artificial waves.
Yeah,
so you can do surfing and whatever. They had one of those off the back.
It's mad.
And they're all free, yeah?
No. Then they had the arcade. They had
some things are free.
Had a library. There was a cafe. There was there was a street in the middle
hotel.
There's a street in the middle of the boat. I'm not even joking. An actual street, like a high road with shops on either side.
Okay.
Like you were walking down an
You
actual
stand on
street.
one end of the cruise ship and you can't see the other end.
Yeah,
like, I'm talking about from the outside.
Yeah,
not inside, obviously. Inside.
It's mad.
It's so big. It's like a moving city.
That's what it is. It's like a moving
and you
city.
got just lifts going from floor 1 to floor 11.
Yeah.
11 floors on the boat. What's going on, fam?
Ours had 15.
I don't understand.
And there was for like 14 of them where the lifts would go to 14 of them and you have to walk up the last one. But yeah, there was 15 levels in.
So what happens when your missus pisses you off? Where do you go?
It doesn't matter. She can't find you.
There's a long way that you can go, man.
She cannot find you.
You can lose your.
You could cheat on that boat
easily. So easily. It's mad.
Shout out the Ghanaians. I'm telling you, man.
There was 11 floors of passenger accommodation. So, and here's the thing that smashes it. So obviously there's levels to this thing, innit? So there's the cabin that you go in. That's like I wouldn't say your entry level cabin, or the entry level cabin doesn't have windows.
Yeah. So you're in the middle-ish.
Yeah. Those are mad. The next one up will have a window, and then you got like everything's en suite, of course. They've got a double bed in there, and we were in a family room, so the beds come from the ceiling. Yeah, and they hang basically. So our daughter was sleeping in the air throughout the trip.
These children are living, man.
Trust me. Then the next level up is
you have a balcony or something.
Yeah, so it's like they had one not with balcony. They had one that had a window that looked out onto the street that I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say the street.
Yeah, because no, it's basically a street. And then there's another level of suite that has a balcony. And then when it starts to get real trippy around there, they've got suites that have 2 levels. So you've got stairs inside the suite, and it's got like a living room and shit in there. And it's like, you don't really need to come out of your suite.
I didn't even see that.
Unless you're going to a restaurant. The thing is mad. It's crazy.
I might go on one next year.
You will enjoy it.
No,
if you don't argue with your whoever you travel with, like if you can be happily staying in the same place,
you will enjoy it.
And if you have children as well, let the children run around. Where can they go?
It's true.
They'll still find out. They can get
lost on the boat, but they're gonna be on the boat.
They can be thrown overboard.
No, they got.
You always is rape or dying for you. That's the worst thing. Yeah, anybody can die anytime. I can be anywhere. Anyone can die. Anyone can fall.
They tag your children as well. They tag them.
What?
They tag the children. They give them a wristband.
I forgot about that.
That tells the staff where to take the child to, so that you can go there to go and pick them up. So in some cases, you want to lose a child.
They got under 3 clubs, 3 to 7 clubs, 7 teenage clubs. Like you can just send your children to go there all day.
Some of these boats will be bigger than actual holiday complexes.
Yes. Well, yes and no. Yeah. Well,
some of the hotels we've been to, yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking like obviously the big ones, like the ones you have in Dubai. There's no competition.
The thing is, the one I went on wasn't even that big. Like, there's a next one that's got an outdoor water slide on it. It's mad, bruv.
I would want to go on one.
I'm telling you, it's mad.
I want to send my parents on one, but I don't think they can go on their own.
Go with them.
They can.
I don't want to go with
you
them.
Enjoy life, bruv. You know what I'm saying to you?
Of all the things they can do by themselves, sorry.
Yeah.
This is the one they can do.
Because they'll get looked after.
Because there's only so far they can go. And everything is there for them.
Lift. And they're the ones that need the butler service.
Especially with mummy and daddy. Yeah, exactly.
They need the butler service.
Because mummy and daddy will say, I want to do this, they want to do that. Go ahead. They can go and do their own thing. One can do croquet and one can do casino, innit? And they can meet up in the middle for dinner time.
I've made money.
Even the Nigerian thing where they have to dress up every night to go to dinner. They will even enjoy it.
They will enjoy it.
We have to dress up.
Then they've got the best wheelchair access I've ever seen. As far as accessibility is concerned, that ship is fantastic. There is nowhere where them wheelchairs can't go. And it's just, fuck, I forgot to tell you. They've got a hospital on the ship.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they need it, man.
It's called a medical bay, but when you go down there, it looks like a hospital.
Yeah, but if somebody gets hurt on the thing,
I hear you.
It's not like a normal nurse's office.
But I don't see them getting off the boat.
What do you mean?
Because when you get off time to get off the boat, now,
Here's
where
the
you
thing.
going?
This is what I was going to ask you.
Go on.
Because for me, I went to 3 different locations.
Yeah.
And although we went there for long, one of them we stayed overnight, but we went there for too long. Maybe that might be the issue for you. For me, because they were beach holidays and I'm not a beach person, I was happy to spend very small time in the beach, run around because they were all small, run around the whole country in a day and then get back on the boat and go about my business because otherwise I wouldn't want to sit on the beach. How many places did you go to? If you just spent your whole time on the boat, then I could get it.
Nah, it was 2 countries, 3 destinations. So we stopped in Spain twice and then in France. So the destinations weren't all that.
I think for me, that would make a difference because I was going to places that I've never been to before and the type of places where I could, if I wanted to show off about names, I could say, yeah, I've been here and I've been there. It's like that type of thing.
Oh, is that the type of person you are?
It's not, but it was, I can say, yeah, I've been to Turks and Caicos, I've been to Puerto Rico. I can say that because of this. And these are things these are places I want to go. I've always wanted to go. Well, no. So it's nice to do that.
What's the difference? What's the equivalent of turbulence on a boat?
So that was the big problem that we had on our cruise because
what's it called? Anyone?
It's called
Waves and Death.
Waves and Death. You extremist.
I forgot now. I'm gonna check it out though, because we should know.
Pana something in it.
Did you have an issue like seasickness?
Bumpy water.
I didn't get seasickness. But choppy waters. But I didn't get seasickness. Couple people motion sickness or whatever. A couple people did. But it depends on the route you're going on. So because we were around like Europe, there's a certain areas where it was quite tight, like a cove almost. So obviously the water's got nowhere to escape to and it's a little bit more rough and there was quite high winds. So there was I think there was one day in particular where there was a bit of rocking, but the anti-stability thing that they've got in them boats is amazing. Okay. So as much as you feel the swing, like you don't see things falling off the shelves and rolling down the side of the boat or nothing like that because it's kind of automatically trying to stabilize itself as the thing's happening.
There was one time I was on one of the boats and one of the, when you go on the, when they take you on the boat to go to the sea and you can do the skinny dipping or whatever.
Yeah. Skinny dipping. Scuba diving.
That's the thing. Which one is skinny dipping?
Is when you're going naked.
Oh. But anyway, I was fit, bro. I've never been seasick before. That time I was throwing up all over the place.
Are you throwing up?
I was throwing up all over the place in the toilet.
Was it going fast?
No, I don't. I think there was problems with the it started to get a bit I think this might have been in Egypt. Yeah, it was choppy. Yeah. And then the waters was getting quite rough. And then eventually I was just like, what is going on here? My stomach is not feeling good.
Mad, isn't it?
And then I just started throwing up, boy.
Maybe you're like me then. Because I have travel sickness, but it's so slight. So it doesn't really happen on planes. Like if there was a scale of 1 to 10, it'd be like a 0.5. You just notice something. But because it's so small, I never even realized it until I was on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
And then the time it got choppy on that, for the first day and a half, it was choppy. Or there was a day and a half towards the beginning it was choppy. And I was feeling it. I didn't throw up, but I was close. I was telling the missus, I think I'm going to throw up. And I got close. And then it evened out. And everybody that was on it is like, that's just not normal. It's just not normal. One of the reasons we stayed overnight in one of the countries is because the water was so bad. They said, we're just not going out again. We're staying here until it calms down. So everyone like, it's not normal for that to happen. And for the whole rest of the time, it was cool. But then I realized, because I've never had I never had it before that. And I realized, I do have it. The only other time I've had it is when I did, what's that jump we did in, Brazil?
The bungee jump.
No. Paragliding.
But that might just be fear of death.
No. It was fine. No, cause that's
This man always brings it back to death.
when we jumped off, it was cool. Flying down, it was full. You know, you got the what do you call it? What do you call it? The kite thing, whatever. It's
No,
called.
you didn't have the kite, bro.
Yeah,
What did I have?
you
Oh, I had
You
the
was too
parachute.
fat, so you had the parachute.
because I hang glided, you paraglided, didn't it?
Yes, he did hang glide.
No, yeah, he hang glided, but they said you couldn't do that.
Yeah, but I didn't choose to do that anyways. I remember I didn't. You man was because it was my stag.
No, you couldn't do it because you were too heavy.
You were too heavy for the thing.
Did I say I wanted to do that though?
No, but you couldn't do it anyway.
Yeah, but did I say I wanted to?
Whether if you wanted to or not, you couldn't do it.
The man said you. No.
I sent
No
Miss
glide
Lala
for
actually
you.
a picture of me skinny now, so she's seen what I look like skinny.
Is
I
that?
said, Lala,
Oh,
I said,
okay.
don't let these blacks take that. Anyways,
Was this when you was 12?
He went to go to his archive, you know.
you know what?
When he was 18, that's why.
Okay. When I was looking for pictures for our 9th year celebration anniversary business, I was going back into the archive of pictures, and I just so happened to find some of the older brother as well, and me and I said, oh, and then I have just sent it to her for that reason. So just after I say my little piece, we'll talk about our Narnia thing. Actually, we'll move on because we've been talking about holidays and people.
Narnia
You get me? People that don't go on holidays is just hating on us. Okay. This one's talking about sandals, and this one's talking about cruises, and there's people sitting at home.
Colombia next year.
Sitting at home with no lives.
You going Colombia next year?
Yeah, I'm going Bogota.
Bogota.
Who am I going with? I'm going with a couple of people.
Bogota.
I'm going with your boy. I'm going with Mr. White, Blanco.
What?
Yeah.
Them two have hooked up.
Oh!
Yeah.
You see how them things were? Bro, that's good for you anyway. You enjoy yourself with that guy.
He divorced you and married another, boy.
Bogota.
I bet you any money. When he comes back, we'll have some discussion. Anyway, we'll see how it goes.
I should come along with you, man.
Come, bruv. It's open. Actually, you should come. Sorry. Yeah.
I want you to go. Go, bro. Go.
Oh, shit.
You should come.
Where was I? Yes, you should definitely go.
What we didn't get to do on My Man's Stag, we will do this time.
See if you can get to go to Cali. Because that's where the blacks are.
Going.
Back to Cali.
What was the point I was making?
Yeah, the Cali cartel. I might visit them.
The paragliding. That's because we jumped off and it was cool. I screamed "Slack for life." It's still been recorded. There was no fear. In case anyone's fixed.
It went down quick though, didn't it?
No, it's fine.
Slack for life landed.
The joke
Everyone else was there for 10 minutes. This man was there for 3.5 seconds.
the joke went over my head.
Biggie.
All right.
The rain on the top was shot. The leprechauns that crushed so-called Willie's thugs and Rapadons.
Okay. But once the person, because we were strapped to somebody, once the person that was actually piloting the
This goes out to yo.
We're going down.
once the person that was piloting the parachute realized that this dude is safe, he's happy, he's calm, he started doing a madness. He started pulling on them strings hard, and he's like, "Hold on, we're gonna have some fun now." And
They always go too far.
yeah, and it was cool, it was fine. But then my belly started saying, "Whoa!" And I was, as far as I was concerned, I'm 50 miles in the air, and I'm gonna throw up on somebody. So I'm like, "Bruv, you have to cool that down because I'm gonna throw up." And that's the only other time I felt it.
So you're saying that you understand why pigeons just shit on people and stuff because they just get a little.
I didn't want to do it, so I told the man to calm down. Pigeons can stop themselves.
All right, so what are we getting into?
9 years in the game.
Whoa.
Yeah, because he was meant to do this last week, probably, but we forgot.
You know, people. I think for our anniversaries and stuff, we always forget. I don't think we ever do it.
I don't
on
think
time.
we ever remembered. I
We're
don't
not one
think
of
we
those-
ever did it on time. I put it in my calculator. My calculator.
So did I.
My calendar.
I put it in my
I
calculator.
think we done it at the same time,
Yeah.
just so next year we'll know. We didn't know.
I didn't set an alarm on it. But to be fair, let's make next year the big one. 'cause that's
Well, it's 10
innit?
years, man.
Decima.
I had requests for live shows. I said, nah, not nearly. But maybe 10 years, it might be worth it.
Well, I don't mind doing a live show at some point.
Okay. 5th of October, apparently 2010 was the first recording or the first broadcast of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast.
That's why he's bloody, you know.
No, that's not even what
I
I
would have been here last week.
I should have been here last week.
Yeah,
for
but
that.
he forgot. He only remembers. We all remembered as well.
Yeah,
Same
that's
way.
true.
So for those of you that are new-ish, yeah, we started off back then. We were on air for 2 years. How I wrote it on the Twitter is that we went from what is a podcast to you've got a podcast as well. Cause that's exactly how it is. When we started, nobody knew what a podcast was. And we went for, just around 2 years of, people didn't even have the phones that they could get a podcast. They didn't know what podcast was. They weren't interested in listening. What's the station? Bro, it's not on a station. You have to do it on your phone. What? How? Who? How? Where? So after a while, with the numbers not being as flourishing as we would like, we took a hiatus.
Yeah, this is how deep it was. We was on Tumblr before it was porn. That's how deep it was.
Before it was porn.
Yeah, we
true, actually.
posted on Tumblr before we was on SoundCloud.
Because Tumblr is no longer, nobody uses it for other things but posting pictures now. But we used to actually use it for sound. That was where we used to post our podcast on Tumblr.
It's full of porn now, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's like Instagram basically.
But
they've stopped it now.
But there
Yeah.
are no, they haven't actually.
They've tried to.
They tried to, and I think they're going to sell the company.
They've
now
sold it. They
because
sold it.
There was such a big backlash
They sold it.
to
But
those.
Because it used to be owned by Yahoo.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure who's owned by now. But either way,
Yahoo bought it.
they bought
And
Yahoo bought it
then-
ages ago then.
Yeah, and then they closed down the thingy, and then they sold it to someone else now.
Okay.
But
Oh.
they lost so much. They bought it for billions and sold it for a few
Yeah,
million.
because
they lost a lot.
Instagram destroyed it.
It's like they should never have bought it in the first place. Well, sorry, Karen.
No, they just lost a lot of users when they decided to cancel the porn thing, because a lot of people are using it for just that.
I never even knew. I just heard from the sex podcast I listened to. It was just 1 week where all of them just started complaining. And this Tumblr business and what they do. I'm like, what? I didn't know. If I'd known, trust me, I'm filth. I would have looked. But I didn't even know
You
about
can get a
it.
lot of stuff on Tumblr. It's not
Yeah, there's a lot of good substance
like,
on
there's
there as well.
a lot of comic stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of comic stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, But,
Let's see what the first thing pops up on my Tumblr.
We digress.
but yeah, so we was on Tumblr. We wasn't even on SoundCloud. We wasn't on anything else at the time. We was literally posting on Tumblr.
Yeah, this might be perfect. God damn, bro, you need to send me those links.
So anyway, congratulations to us. 9 years.
Congratulating ourselves.
Why is us just congratulating us?
Because that's who cares about us. So like, we congratulate
Yeah,
us.
because all right,
Lesbian
after
porn.
this, I'm going to the Receipts podcast, the live showing. I'm going there straight after this. I'm going to be late, so that's why I'm late. But they have 2 showings today, 2 sold out shows. Their first show, I drove down. It's not far from the family home.
Yeah, forward me that as well.
And as I drove past, it was going round the corner. The
Big
queue
them-
was
big
going
them
round the corner.
Big them up.
The missus pulled down. What's this going on here? I said the receipts. I was like, I thought it's later on. I was like, it's 2 shows, 2 sold out shows.
Deep.
Like wow, literally around the corner. I didn't see the venue. I saw the queue, and then when I crossed over the road, I saw the venue to my left. Mad.
Got to congratulate that,
Yeah,
man.
congrats.
Seriously.
Congrats.
Yeah. And I hope them free shop boys sell out.
Yeah,
Amazon
shame on us.
Apollo.
They will do, and half cast as well.
They didn't Amazon Apollo.
They're doing a tour, I believe.
Ah, okay, that's good.
I can't remember because it's about 2 weeks ago they were thinking that, but I think they're doing Hammersmith. I can't remember now. Now it's gonna bug me, but they're doing something. They're doing it like.
We'll big them up as well, man.
Yeah,
Savage
they
Dan and them, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dan's going for the tour. 'Cause he's
remember-
part of them now, really, isn't he?
I
He's part with him and Savage now, isn't he? Really?
I think
part with Chucky
because
and
they did
Savage.
mention it, and he was like, "I think he's gonna be there, innit?"
Hopefully, anyway.
But anyway, they need
It'll
to
be-
come on us.
it'll be nice.
That's the plan.
Are they coming on our pod?
Savage Dan and H, we
Yeah.
were on ours, innit? Didn't we
Yeah.
speak to Dan when we were there?
I don't know if I spoke to Dan. I spoke to H at one point. H said he would come.
I think I spoke to them.
All right, cool.
Very,
Anyway,
very, very
at one
fun.
point, it would be nice to have them to do an away show because they're always at their own studio. Let them come to
get
a different
me?
studio and
Yeah,
enjoy
I know.
themselves, sit down and just relax, not have to be worrying about buttons and whatnot.
Yeah, show you how to sound properly.
Oh,
Bruv, I'm still upset with the podcast that we were on.
yeah. I did see a couple of people write in the comment section about
Because
the stuff.
if you're very sharp eared and you listen, because they do the rolling starts, if you listen to the beginning, the very, very first 2 seconds of the DMD podcast, you'll hear me say something. If you louder it up enough. And what am I doing? I'm telling them to watch this sound because this mic is not going to pick up everything. Like, no, bro, it's cool. And then what?
We were there anyway. We're there. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. On
You
that
know
pod.
me, I'm the sound.
Yeah, you're a sound snob. You were saying that last week. The them man there boys.
I still
Sorry, the man them boys. Sorry, the man them boys. Was
the Man Them podcast. Yeah, I need to send them something actually.
Yeah,
I'm gonna. In fact, I'm just gonna post it on Twitter for anyone that's got a podcast. And if you use Audacity, I've heard people cast Audacity. You shouldn't use it. As far as I'm concerned, it works and we sound cool. If you use Audacity, I'm going to show you how to clean up audio and I'm going to post it on Twitter or something.
And once again, you're giving away freeness.
That's what I do.
No, I always say this anyway. I'd rather help people for free than feel like I'm robbing my people. But that's how I am. But anyway, 9 years in the game. Congratulations to us. Go to something else because I'm bored of that already. Let's congratulate somebody else who's done something that is way bigger than the 9 years that we've done. And that is Mr. Tyler Perry. Now, Tyler Perry's one of those
polarizing characters.
Yeah, because some people hate Tyler Perry and some people think he's the best thing since sliced bread. But what he's done with this new studio is, for me, fantastic.
Talking about around the block, when I was in New York a few months ago, he had his Medea. He was doing it at the wherever the big place to do it there was. It was in Times Square.
Harlem.
No, it was in just around the corner from Times Square. He was doing his stage show. I don't know, for those of you who don't know, Medea is it. Yeah, it started off as a play, then he did the films, but he comes back and does the plays every song, so and so. And he had like a week of shows that he was doing there. And so you were just walking down Times Square, just queuing up. Yeah, sold out, man.
Because it's one of the last showings, that's why I think he's cancelling the character, innit?
Big men and women wearing their Sunday hats and the men in the suits. That was a big people thing. Yeah. So not many people might, just big people thing.
Yeah, Medea's anyway is one of his characters where he plays a grandma, basically, an older woman.
I don't think I've ever watched one.
I've not watched any of them, but yeah, he plays an older woman, but that's the character that he's got many films based on Medea. And that's where he basically made a lot of his money through that character. And he's got his own production company and he produces his own films, directs his own films, writes his own films. So he's basically very much self-sufficient.
He's the prince of the film industry.
Yeah, he's very much self-sufficient. A lot of people, that I said, have negative opinions about him. Spike Lee being a big, massive person that does not like Tyler Perry at all, which is very interesting because one of the studios in his new complex is named after Spike Lee. So what he's done. Sorry,
that's interesting.
You're going to say something, but I'll talk after you said what you're going to say.
No, I was going to say that not only is he polarizing, people tend to have great criticism of his content. The characters he writes tend to always fall into a certain sway.
A very stereotypical viewpoint of blacks.
There's a combination of stereotypical and I think a lot of times people have always questioned why can't you make them more positive, if that makes sense?
The downtrodden dark-skinned woman and the mild to light-skinned brother that beats them or cheats on them.
Yeah.
Is that what they usually put on him?
That's those are his characters.
I don't watch any of his films really, but apparently that's it.
Well, we've just been christened again with the police siren that we do
every week. It must happen.
But
I watched back in the day. The first one I watched was Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then I went on to watch Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2. So there were a couple good ones, and then he done a documentary. Diary of a Tired Black Man, which I thought was good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
But on the whole, that one is all about, black men being wronged by certain women in it. But on the whole, I get why some people are peed off by him, because for me, some of the reasons why certain people won't go out and watch a slave film is the same reason why people don't go and watch his type of films. Yeah. So I've been an advocate trying to push the idea of, and Spike Lee as well, let's show different type of films, man. Films that show us in a better and a greater light. You know what I mean?
Before we custom, man, let's pick him up.
Yeah, because Spike Lee himself is not always the best at showing lights of everybody either. Let us not forget the last thing that he did where they were cussing the Africans and the British people that they were just chatting rubbish on his show. What was it? She's got to have it.
She's got to have it.
Just chatting rubbish.
Season of the Netflix.
Chatting a whole heap of rubbish on
Why was there a second season of it? That's the only question
the point.
I want to ask.
No, I know my boy Lars is good though. I like Lars.
I mean, going back to Tyler Perry, and a lot of what he writes, or he's said this many times in his interviews, he writes from his experience. So growing up as a young boy, he used to sit around the table with his gran or his aunts, listening to their stories of hardship and woe and dogging men and whatnot. So he would always pick up on that, and that would be his stories that he would tell. So he would bring it into a light. And I think he mentioned one thing about how he made one of his aunts who was upset about something laugh was mimicking or copying a conversation that he would listen to with all the women sitting around the table. So from that, he built up his reputation, his stories from those stories, which is why it grew so much, because it's relatable to
people, innit?
to especially people in his environment. I think where did he grow up in Georgia? Was it Georgia? Atlanta,
Georgia? I think so. But he was
on my mind. So even going back to the studio, the studio is in Atlanta, Georgia, and built on an old military army base.
Yeah, military base, and it's fantastic what he's done. Because okay, we haven't really even explained what he's done really. So he's built not. When we say a studio, we don't mean like he's built like a 1-room studio.
No, this thing is massive.
He has built what is a film studio, like a Warner Brothers
production
type studio
with a sound studio as well,
with multiple studios, with multiple places, with multiple things, and like he's even got like a fake White House in there.
Yeah. It's 300 acres.
Yeah,
if I remember rightly, there was a statistic about it. It's bigger than three of the
bigger than Warner's, bigger than Paramount, bigger than Sony, bigger than Disney
combined.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can fit all of them in his studio.
And that's how big he is. So he's gone out of his way to spend this money to create this, to allow black people to actually. Have you got the video lined up?
It's currently hiring.
It's the one time that I would like somebody if you can get
I believe we played that.
Did you play it last week?
Not last week. When he actually, because he won that award ages ago. Did he? The thing that he's played the bit where the BET award.
No, I haven't.
I think that was quite recent. Anyway,
I mean, not ages. Like about 6 months ago, he won that award.
Oh, fair enough.
He hooked up with BT. They had the new program he's doing is through BT, and he won his Lifetime Achievement Award maybe 4 months ago, something like that. And the speech was so good. Then he mentioned the fact that he had a studio in the speech, but I guess now that he's had his grand opening. No, I think they were recording there. I think he's just done an opening in it, so now that's why all the spotlight is on it. He's done his grand opening, but it's basically just a press so look, everyone, he's all finished.
It cost him $7 million as well.
Is that cheap?
Cheap.
That's why I cannot. I'm very shocked that Oprah does not have this.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that should be doing
she's got her own network.
In my opinion,
that's what I'm saying.
But that's something different. Maybe that's probably more expensive.
Yeah, but her having her own network. And then she's got her own network. She's got her own production company because a lot of programs like Greenleaf, all of that stuff is all Oprah's programs. They're all old programs. So why not have them at your own studio?
Yeah, but I think with this, it might be 7 million for the. I don't know if it was just 7 million for the land or 7 million for the whole construction. I doubt that. But even if it is just 7 million, with these things, the cost of
maintenance,
the upkeep cost is what's
it's like
big.
A small city.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey was on Ellen. I saw like a clip of her with Ellen.
This is old as well.
That was so hilarious. Laughing. The question was, when was the last time you went to the bank? And she went, I went to the bank.
What's your PIN number?
Yeah.
Your ATM PIN number.
She said she didn't know or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they asked her when the last time she went to the bank. She said, I went to the bank a few weeks ago actually. When she goes, but before that I hadn't been for years. I don't even see the bank. And they goes, where did you go? And she goes, I just wanted to go and deposit $1 million check. And she was laughing. She was like, I haven't done it. I just waited to do it. Then at the end, she laughed. Oh, sorry. Actually, it was 2 million. And you know what's a bullet hits you in the chest like that.
But you also felt pride at the same time.
Yeah, but she was laughing at the fact that she forgot a whole million, bruv. That's like giving a boss man £2 and saying, don't worry, keep the change, fam.
Yeah, but you have to remember, when you get to a certain level, the money isn't as important. It's just there to keep score.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, if it's costing this guy 7 million for the land and to make the production company or whatever, and Oprah's got all of these different shows that she's got, why not do them on your own production company? Why not do them on your own? And she could make money renting it out, because that's what he's gonna do, isn't it? And she's got the clout to rent it out to people, and people will go there and do it.
Yeah,
not just black people. Anyone.
How about this? How about if she now goes to Tyler Perry and does her stuff there?
She might do that stuff there, and I'm hoping that might happen. Yeah. But she could have done it herself. I'm just saying, I'm surprised that she hasn't done it herself. As a businesswoman that she is, I'm surprised she hasn't got that.
I don't think her that side of her is her main goal, because she's a philanthropist. She's doing so many other things, like doing schools in Africa and things like that. So I don't think the media
schools in Africa.
Gotta do them schools in Africa.
Yeah, but that is also a big, massive thing for. If you want to do for your people, that is a massive thing to do, is to allow us to have our own production companies, to rent it out to your people and say, like, because there's a lot of films that don't get produced because the studios are saying, nah,
But I think having our own network is just doubles up on that as well.
True,
you know what the thing is? It comes down to recently on the timeline, people have been saying, "Oh, social media influencers need to talk up about knife crime," and then people have shut them down and said, "Listen, just because you are big doesn't mean that it's our place to talk about stuff like that. If I talk about hair or makeup, I don't know anything about knife crime. It's not my place to talk about that." And I might chat fraff for all I know, yeah? The same thing is obviously...
That sounds like my man, the rapper that got arrested in Europe.
It's a different level. No,
ASAP.
no. In this case, I agree.
Because you could be just chatting rubbish,
Yeah.
bro.
It's not just because I have a forum where I have 100,000 listeners, 10,000 viewers, a million, that I need to talk about. Obviously, I can talk about certain things if I feel passionate about it. But if this is something that I see, it hurts me, it bothers me, but I'm not good enough to articulate it. What I can do is talking about hair, makeup, nails, and busting joke with my friends. We go shopping. The minute I start talking about knife crime, where it has affected me personally, I don't live in the areas where it happens. All of a sudden, I'm chatting fraff.
You could be looking to see
and people that are actually no, man. If I don't know what I'm talking about, like for instance, on the way down there, I was in the car with Wala, and he was like, "Are we going to talk about this knife crime thing?" Because I started crying when I watched the video of the young boy. I'm going to get his name shortly. Who got stabbed recently? 15.
His name's Baptista.
Yeah, Baptista.
Stratford, yeah.
15-year-old got stabbed, and there's somebody that knows him that was posting some of his snaps, and there's a snap of him with his mum dancing, and he's like, "No one can. There's no bond like me and my mum." And I just started crying. I just burst out crying. I was in bed. Just started crying. Don't know this boy for nothing, obviously, but for some reason, it's just like, it just hit me. Because you see a lot of these pictures and you see some of these boys, and this boy just seems smiling. It's just, because she got a lot of these videos and she's just posting them, smiling, laughing, busting joke, doing all this stuff. And it's like, it's just sad. But even now, on the way down, it's like, should we talk about it? It's like, we've spoken about it so much before. What do we have to say? And are we bringing anything to the table? Because I think all of us, if we were ever even in the vicinity of this kind of business, it was a long time ago. I don't think about anybody shanking me. I'm worried about my daughter in 15 years' time. I'm not worried about myself at all. You get me? And I think that's probably the same with you, Mr. Wolf. You're probably worried about a child. You are not worried about if I walk down the street, somebody will shank me. You're worried about what's going to happen with my son. So we're going to talk about it from a different angle. And most of these people, these social influencers, don't have children that to deal with it. They're not in that world anymore. They're making money or whatever it is. Not everybody's equipped to talk about everything.
I think it's more those who are equipped.
But who?
There are some people.
No,
I think there's a lot of people who are equipped, who have the forum and the capacity, the knowledge.
Okay, name a couple.
Well, I can't off the top of my head, but I'm saying that there are some celebrities out there. There are people who are.
We're not talking about celebrities.
There are influencers, social media influencers, end up becoming celebrities in some way, shape, or form. Some of them do have the capacity to say something, and some of them don't. And for me, if you do have that kind of mindset or that kind of way of talking, you're saying that I don't want to say something that makes me sound like I'm chatting rubbish.
It's just I don't know what to bring to the table. What part? I've seen it. I'm sad. And then what? What do you want me to say?
But in that respect, you got influencers that will put up a flag for France, or
there you go,
put their 2 cents in for another cause or another thing that's happening. It's about having an opinion over the situation and just giving your standpoint.
Hang on.
Whether you influence or not, you're speaking out about it from your own, how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
And what you think, or what you think you could see as, all right, a solution to this, in my opinion, could be A, B, and C.
For instance, we are a podcast where we talk about so many things. We're quite varied. We're talking about our holidays. We're talking about our relationships. We're talking about football. But when me and Wahala and Mr. Wolf, Simple Simon, Web Singer, I want to start talking about hip hop that we might do offline. We just don't do it here. And one of the first people to say, Mr. Wolf, is, I just don't think our audience will be interested in us having a 20-minute, 40-minute conversation about Mobb Deep and Big Pun and Jay-Z. And you're happy to say that?
It's more the beef. It's more the beef that I'll talk about.
Irrespective, the fact is, you think our audience is not interested in listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, we never know, because it's only once we've done it and it's out, we will get the feedback saying, do you know what you said was good. I didn't remember about this. It took me to the point to listen to those tracks and history to hear about it.
That's something that we actually have an interest in or understanding on. If I don't know nothing about knife crime, let's say that I'm what's her name? Kylie Jenner, yeah? She's a massive social influencer. Massive, yeah? Alright, so she hears that this boy in Stratford, that she might not even know exists, got stabbed, yeah? I'm talking about Stratford, not even talking about the boy. I'm talking about the whole area. Got stabbed. Yeah, she's got how many millions? 14 point something million followers. All she can really say is what? Oh, I heard some boy in London got stabbed. That's really bad. It's terrible.
Yeah, but that's...
Oh, what's going on in London that these boys are getting stabbed? And then, yeah, that can make people say, oh my God, somebody got stabbed. But then there's going to be people that's like, why are you talking about this? You know nothing about it. Well, what can she tell? What can she speak? Does she know about what's happening in Stratford? Does she know what type of gangs are around in Stratford? Does she understand what's going on with the youths in Stratford? Does she understand? No. So basically all she's doing
is just a question of research.
All she's doing is exactly what you're saying, is putting up your flag to say, stop knife crime.
But that's the point that I made initially. If you are that type of person from a different country entirely, talking about something that happens in the East End of London, then fair enough. But there are some social media influencers that may be in...
Yeah, but who? That's what I'm asking.
Bruv,
He said he doesn't know.
you know, it doesn't matter who. There are some out there that have the capacity, the know-how, that may have had somebody who's been stabbed, or they may have lost somebody, and they have the capacity to talk about it, and
you know
they don't.
Yeah, but you're saying that they don't. That's why I'm asking you who, because you're telling me that they don't. But when I'm asking you who, you don't know. So you can't say that. Okay. You can't say that the people that are doing it don't do it.
So what's the point of having a discussion?
I don't know why we're having this discussion. I wouldn't have had it because I don't know.
The reason I just went to decide to bring that up is just to say that I understand how you could say that a social media person, just because they're in the spotlight, doesn't have to talk about every subject. Because Oprah, just because she's rich and she's in the film industry, does not have to build her own studio. When you say, why doesn't she? She doesn't have to. It's that kind of thing. She's doing her own thing, and that's what she's happy with. It's not just because you have money, you have to do this.
No, listen, I'm surprised she hasn't done it.
Okay, but that's why I brought it up. If we went on a tangent, maybe we could go back to that tangent soon. I'm sure you guys still want to pick up your Tyler Perry before we move on, or are we done with him? I've got the actual speech.
I'm done, to be honest.
So you don't want to hear the speech anymore?
It's up to you.
Play the speech, man. Play the speech.
Right, it was a long speech. I'm just...
I don't want to hear all of it. Then.
Play the speech, but I don't want to hear all of it.
I forwarded it to a bit where, because I wasn't listening, I'm only guessing. So I'm hoping this is a bit where it starts getting...
Thank you, good night.
I'm hoping this gets to the bit where it's a bit fire. Yeah.
That moment reminded me of my mother, bringing her out of pain into laughter to help her cross. My first 10 movies were all about her subconsciously, wanting her to know that she was worthy, wanting black women to know you're worthy, you're special, you're powerful, you're amazing. All of that was about helping her cross. When I started hiring people like Taraji and Viola Davis and Idris Elba, they couldn't get jobs in this town, but God blessed me to be in a position to be able to hire them. I was trying to help somebody cross.
Bring my name into this.
When I built my studio, I built it in a neighborhood that is one of the poorest black neighborhoods in Atlanta, so the young black kids can see that a black man did that and they can do it too. I was trying to help somebody cross. The studio was once a Confederate Army base, and I want you to hear this, which meant that there was Confederate soldiers on that base plotting and planning on how to keep 3.9 million Negroes enslaved. Now that land is owned by one Negro.
I think you can drop the mic there. There's more. Where is it? I don't want to hear it.
But this point is the point.
It's all about trying to help somebody cross. While everybody was fighting for a seat at the table, talking about Oscar so white, I said, y'all go ahead and do that. But while you fighting for a seat at the table, I'll be down in Atlanta building my own. Because what I know for sure is that if I could just build this table, God would prepare it for me in the presence of my enemies.
One man's like to go to the past the road, yeah?
I'm talking
Rather than being an icon, I want to be an inspiration. So thank you, BET, my new family. Thank you, everybody. I want you to hear this.
Nobody can cross it.
Dreamer in this room. There are people whose lives are tied into your dream. Own your stuff. Own your business. Own your way. God bless you. Thank you, BET. Thank you, Scott. I love you guys.
Who is Scott?
Yeah, exactly.
Who is Scott?
Nobody can cross it. Great Scott. And that's a fisherman or a fisherwoman.
I love that speech.
Well done to Tyler Perry. I think he's done great things. I kind of get why some people are not his biggest fan. I would like to see if he's done all what he's done with the end game to get where he's at, then you got to applaud him.
Hold on,
And
He is currently hiring.
I would then hope and pray that he would show films about us and our history in a better light than what they have been shown before.
No one can ever be an angel.
Okay.
What you on about, man?
It's like, it's never just congrats.
Yeah, it has to be with a
Here's something with my left hand and give me this with into my right.
Yeah, because what they say about Spider-Man?
With great power comes great responsibility.
He's got work to do. He's done great work so far, and he's got loads more to do. He hasn't built the studio just to get accolades.
When you say he's got work to do, what do you mean?
Just like I said, that listen, you've got this studio. You don't need anybody now. You can create your own films. You don't need anybody to co-sign anything. Let's see films of, is
there going to be more positive?
That's to make the films. He still needs a distributor and all that stuff.
We know he needs all of these things, but I'm just saying that it will be nice for us to see different type of films than the ones that he showed before.
You saying he's got work to do, so you're saying that this is something he has to do?
Bruv. He is now in a place where he is got something massive in it. You get me? So let's see what happens from this point onwards. So he hasn't got a studio just to sit down and do nothing.
I'm asking. The reason why I'm asking that question is that do you feel like because he's got this studio and obviously he's spoke what he spoke and he said what he said, do you still feel? So you feel like he has to go out of his way to?
He doesn't have to do anything, but it would be nice.
That's what. The have to bit is the thing I was.
I didn't say that he has to do it. I said that it would be nice if we can get films that shows us in a more positive light. I didn't say that he must do it.
No, you said that he's got to work. That a lot of work he has to do.
No, I said with great power.
Great power comes great responsibility.
But you also said with a lot of work he has to do. That's why
you're being pedantic, plus.
But that's what you actually said, though. You did say.
That's why I was arguing that. That's why I was having the discussion about that particular sentence.
I don't think that is the biggest and the most deepest.
The rewind, yeah.
Talking about.
But
I don't think it's that important.
But that's what I was discussing.
Okay.
So if you were discussing something
I don't know if he actually used the word has or have.
I think
he said
that's what the rewind is for. We'll find out.
No, he says
he said he's got work to do.
No, he said has. Anyway, when you're ready, you can listen to it again.
Yeah, it doesn't.
There's a lot of work he has to do. That's why I picked on it. Anyway.
With your point, Savros, about distribution, it's then he can go back and talk to Oprah because Oprah can distribute for him
on TV.
Oprah could be the distro.
Well, yeah,
it's weak like the drug game, man.
It's just the thing is to tie back to this young boy that died and the social media influences thing. So let's progress the conversation slightly forward. In the same realm, it just not everybody has to do everything.
No, not everybody has to do everything, but
it would be nice.
You have the platform where you can.
So should we then just talk about this stuff? Because should we skip talking about knife crime? Because it happens so often. We could talk about it every week. But do we want to? Is this something that we feel is I know if I'm listening to a podcast and all they're talking about is knife crime every week, then I don't want to listen to that podcast every week.
Us and I'll do it in inverted commas as potential influencers.
No, he said if we did that, that's the point he's trying to make. Sorry, go on.
We have potential.
Us as potential influencers, and we to an extent we are influencers. We do influence certain amount of people that listen to our show. About
all 12
things.
of you.
Woo. Hey, listen, 12 is a start.
Yeah.
We don't have the responsibility to talk about knife crime. But it's something that is in our environment, that's always around us, that's always
Bruv, I don't live around here anymore.
Oh, you're not from the ends anymore. Sorry.
In my projects.
And you know
where I'm from. So whether we decide to talk about it or not, it's on us. And whether we have an opinion on it, it's on us. Whether with our opinions it changes the mindset of anybody, that's on them.
You never know the impact you have on people until they actually let you know the impact you have on them.
True. That's very true.
And we've had letters, and people have told us about the impact that we've had on them.
Yesterday,
did you say letters?
Yes.
Yesterday, I had a conversation with somebody.
Written ones on paper.
The electronic mail.
Carrier pigeon.
Yesterday, I had a conversation with somebody, and they actually touched on that particular topic because they were saying that they that basically they went somewhere, somebody had a child and they went to go and see the child, and maybe it was like a party, or it wasn't a naming, it was just like a birthing party or whatever. You know when they have parties after
baby shower?
No, because the baby already done come.
Oh.
So after
pick the day I shower.
After birth party.
after Beth.
Again, a reference people that I don't know. But anyway, we get there. So anyway, they said it was there and might have been a Chris. I don't know even. It was
We don't care what it is.
Baby dedication.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, give it that. So
Party
anyway,
for baby.
but there was this. They were basically at this. It was almost like they had like, what they call a godparent reveal.
Okay.
Yeah?
Oh,
Okay.
they're doing that now.
Well, it was kind of like that. So the person didn't know. But anyway, they said they were sitting there, and there was this. The person was talking about a person about somebody saying that they've done in my life.
In my life,
I was waiting for it. They've done this for me. They've done this for my parent. They've done this. They've showed me this because it's not actually it wasn't actually the person that's had the baby wasn't actually their friend. It's their friend's daughter, right? Their friend's daughter. And she was like, they've done this. I've seen them do that. They spoke to my mum and showed her this. They spoke to me and told me that, blah, 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 blah. And I want that person to be the godparent for my child. And it ended up being that particular person. And she was like, I was so shocked. I never even thought. Obviously, it's my friend that's my friend, innit?
Yeah.
And that's her daughter. I wouldn't expect her to make me her godparent. And she said, I did not know what impact I had on this girl until she started saying all of these different things that I'd done that she had seen that had that positive impact enough for her to make me the godparent for my child. So, going off what you're saying with regards to the influencers, although I kind of agree with you with the fact is that I do think there's some influencers that shouldn't touch on it because they just don't know anything about it. There are going to be times and people where you're going to make massive impacts and you just don't know you're doing it. So even if you do throw up one of those maybe stop knife crime chicken boxes or on your screen or something, that might have an effect, I suppose.
that might be the catalyst.
Okay, so you're all here. 5 black men. You've lived life. You come from your own respective poor boroughs in London. You've seen it firsthand. You know somebody that's been hurt. We are related to somebody that's been a victim, murder of knife crime. I'm sure all of you know somebody that's been on both sides of the knife or both sides of the gun.
One of them's been knifed.
So
Both sides of the knife.
what's your message then? Because as far as I'm concerned now, we're leaning towards most of the people on this panel at least. Maybe even all of us, well, it's not me, feels that we have a responsibility to speak out and pass on a message to our listeners. So just a short little message for anybody that may be listening, that may be thinking of picking up a knife or a gun to either defend themselves or to attack somebody.
I only got questions,
But
man.
this is the thing then.
I only got questions.
This is the thing.
Because I don't understand it. I do not understand why so many of these young boys feel like they have to be stabbing each other. I do not get it.
Well, I get it.
I don't get it. I get maybe fighting. I get maybe even selling drugs. I'll get all that type of stuff. But I don't think it's even a drug beef. I don't even think it's beef sometimes.
Some of it is.
Yeah, I don't think all of it is.
No, it's not all of it.
And sometimes I don't even think it's beef. Sometimes I just think man's are stabbing sometimes I think people are stabbing people for fun.
If you understand why someone would fight somebody else, that stabbing them is an extension of that fight.
Yeah, but I don't think all of it's that. I really do think that some people are just stabbing people either just to prove a point or just to get a rep or so. I don't think that they're actually doing it because there's a problem or a beef
would you say that's
or a drama between that person.
Okay, would you say that's the minority? You would assume that some people are doing that, yes.
I thought that was a minority before, but now I'm thinking that there's more people are just stabbing people for the sake of stabbing rather than getting into something else.
I would think
That's a big statement.
No, I'm not talking about the majority of the stabbings because of that. I'm saying more than it was before in the past.
I think there's an element of a lack of courage, potentially. Now, you might say it takes a lot to stab somebody, and it probably does. But I think there's a lack of courage in the sense that if you have a fight with someone, a fist fight, unless you have a really, what's the word I'm looking for? You really have an unfortunate turn of circumstances. Chances are both members of that fist fight will live to fight another day. And the problem with that is they live to fight another day. So you either come to reconcile your differences or you come to live looking over your shoulder for that person coming to fight you again. Whereas if you stab them, it's the end.
So do you think that is a cowardice in stabbing?
There is a level of cowardice to stabbing, I think.
See, I think you'd have to be brave to kill someone.
No, I think it's braver to have a disagreement with somebody that gets to the point of fighting. Someone gets beat up and you go walk your separate ways and live your life. I think it's braver to do that simply because you know that potentially if you're the person that won the fight, there's somebody who's aggrieved and who has lost the fight, and they could potentially want to come back to deal with you again. And also from the other point of view is it takes, you have to be a bigger person, because we always fight. We're going to fight. But the fighting doesn't always have to be to the death.
I don't know if it's because these youths are a little bit more emotionally unstable. I don't know, man.
If back in the day when we had a fight after school for whatever the reason, so let's forget the reason, you'd have a fight, and then maybe the escalation might come to you have the brass knuckles or the baseball bat or something along that, or the chain.
Yeah.
That would be more of a gang thing.
Okay, but I think a lot of this stuff is some sort of gang violence. I don't think it's just personally necessarily. Some of it will be, I just have an issue with you and that's it, 1-on-1. But some of it's going to come from the streets on that level. But either way, it might escalate to that level. And that's kind of like, everybody kind of knew that's what it was. And I was having this discussion with somebody, and I cannot remember who it is, maybe the listeners. And I said what you said. Back in the day, you used to know who had, and they basically said what you said before I even had a chance to say it. You knew who had the gun in the school. Yeah, it's not that it was never a gun. It's not that it was never a knife.
Yeah, you knew
but
who it was.
You just knew who had it, and you didn't muck about that person. And that was it. Nowadays,
you don't know who
anybody's got it. So if I knew in my class, Damien had the thing, and you don't mess around with Damien, then you leave Damien alone. If Damien wants to bully you or start on you, then you can run away, or if you want to man up and try and deal with it, then that's your business, innit? But it was Damien. Now, it's anybody that comes at you, are you going to run from everybody? Because anybody could have the thing. So now if anybody else can have the thing, I need the thing.
I was watching the news yesterday when this thing happened regarding the knife crime, and there was a guy that was there talking about, they basically collects knives of kids. So I don't know why they're giving these people the knives, right? And he said that last weekend, so this is on the weekend of what weekend are we now? 13th. So it would have been the weekend of the 5th of October. And I don't know what part of London, but it's not the whole of London. It might have just been a part of London. He collected over 100 knives.
Yeah.
Over 100 knives.
Yeah.
That's madness. How can 100 people have, and that was one weekend. I think the following weekend he collected another 80. So unless he's collected from the same man, them I don't know.
Yeah, but you have to
100 knives.
You have to remember that everyone's got kitchens.
Yeah, but now you can't buy a knife like that no more. So, like me and my niece tried to go and buy a knife the other day. We couldn't. I couldn't buy a knife.
eBay.
They don't even sell knives in certain supermarkets no more. That's how deep it's become.
Well, that's why I said kitchen.
Yeah, but if okay, straight enough. But your mum would notice if one kitchen knife is missing most of the time.
You ain't seen Goodfellas?
True. But that one did have my mum though, innit?
It's a sin.
We're gonna use it, man.
Okay. What did you want to play now?
Yeah, let me just little comical something.
About knife grip?
Yeah.
Goddamn 47.
I want the knife.
Please.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to do that. I think,
why?
With this whole discussion,
He's on the
just for
spectrum.
laugh,
Just
man.
leave him alone.
I'm on my leave me on my side of the thing. With this whole knife crime thing, it's for us as individuals, like Stavros said, we all know of or been around it. It's in our environment. It's been in our cycle. For us going through it as responsible individuals on this podcast, it's just a question of making people aware, being vigilant, being informative and informed. Whether you're talking to your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter, your cousin, whoever, be wary, be careful, be alert. You know what I mean? It's like you said, in school, we all knew someone that knew someone if we weren't that someone. So it's just being careful. And that's the only defense you can give, I think.
I mean, I'm speaking of, I'm a father of a son who is the same age as the young boy that passed the other day. And when I read the article and, it touched me a lot, I can understand why Stavros burst into tears by looking at the videos, because it really, really hurt me. You know what I mean? And, like you say about giving advice, since my son started going to school on his own, I tried to teach him, or we've been trying to teach him, how to be street smart. How to You know, if you're going to have your headphones on, make sure you have one out and make sure that you can hear what is going on around you. Be vigilant. You know, look around you. Don't have your phone out. Don't have money in your hand. Things like that. So that's not just, I mean, he is not the only person that I would feed that information to. And this is why, as much as I talk about the barbershop and it's all jokes in there, there's a lot of young kids that come in there. There's a lot of young kids that have come in there and no longer come in there because they're no longer with us. Do you know what I mean? So we feed that information to them, to their mothers who come in, there's no father around, you know, and I don't know, there are things that people are doing. You've got the Manhood Academy. You've got 1,000 young boys. That's another kind of, community thing that is out there that people are on the ground doing good things. And it's about trying to interject, trying to find those who are on the cusp of either being a victim or being a perpetrator and trying to prevent a loss of life. And I think that, you know, that in some way, shape or form, a lot of us have saved a life, without actually knowing it, you know, and I think just sitting idle and doing nothing and saying nothing when you're in a position to do something is wrong, in my opinion.
Very quickly, somebody that is a black man who is one of the members of one of these groups that is there to deal with
conflict resolution.
Young people that need assistance in some way, shape or form, men, is Darren Griffiths.
He's a mentor, isn't he?
Yes, he's a mentor. And I think he's getting married today.
Yeah.
So I just want to shout him out.
Shout him out, man. Get Griff.
Yeah, so just
enjoy that wedding, fam.
Yeah, enjoy celebrations.
Remember to say I do, bruv.
It's today for us, where we last week for you. So enjoy whatever it is you're doing, and everybody at ESN, we want to congratulate.
Congratulations.
Friend of the podcast. Sorry. So, Webbs, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, just coming back full circle, even back to Tyler Perry and so on and so forth. Do we think it's, I would say, a responsibility for the media, people that make films and so on and so forth, to show more of a positive light when it comes to the black experience, growing up black?
No. Stavros says no.
Why not?
Because it's not their responsibility. I'm not your parent. I'm not, no, they're not my child's parent. It's not their job to raise my child. It's no one's job to raise my child.
I kind of, I'm 50-50. From my point of view, I think that all teaching should start at home. With, I think that's what Stav is alluding to. But you've got to understand that in some homes, there are parents who are not parents. There's dads who are not there. There's mothers who are not there. And sometimes these kids have a free reign to take in whatever they want.
I'm not even taking it that far.
But I am.
I get you.
I know what you're saying, that you're saying, no, I think it should be at home.
No, but that is, yeah, but, yeah, because you're putting words in my mouth. Say your thing then, innit? And don't talk for me and then I won't have to interrupt you.
Okay, carry on.
Go on.
Okay, just from my point of view, just to answer your question, I think that we all have a responsibility to touch people that we have never met, may never ever meet. And if I had a platform to put out positive images, put out some kind of a positive influence on youngsters, on adults even, then I would do that. And I personally will see it as a responsibility. There's some who wouldn't, but that's fine. I personally would see it as, if I have the power to do it, then I would do it. There's no doubt about that.
So can I just flesh my thing out then? The reason I say no is because, like Mr. Wolf, I do personally see it as a responsibility. For instance, we were just talking about me trying to clean up audio, and while I'm saying, why don't now it's just something else you're giving away for free? Because I always try and help people. That is my MO. That is the type of person I am. But that is the person I am. And I understand that is probably not good for business. And that is maybe why I'm not the best businessman in the world. Maybe I'm a nice person. When I die, everyone's going to say Stavros was nice. Well, not everyone, but some people say Stavros is nice. Nobody's going to say Stavros was the best business person, because I'm not going down the business route. Yes. F you. So, my point is, these people are business people. You're talking about mass media.
Yeah.
It's a business. That's their job. Their job is to do business. Their job is not to help everybody. Let's be nice. That's not their job. It could be my job. But then if I get swallowed up in the BBC or the ITV or something like that, or BBC now collects all of us and says we're going to do a podcast, we might continue on with our plight of doing, what do they call it, education when you do the entertainment or edutainment. But I think that's the kind of slot that we fit into. We've got a bit of comedy and we hopefully we school you on a little bit in there. I think that's what we do. But that's not what everybody else has to do. And like I said last week, I think it was last week or the week before, everybody has their own position in a football pitch. Not everybody can be a defender, not everyone can be a midfielder, not everyone can be a goalkeeper. I personally can't expect you to do what I do. Not
but ultimately you're on the pitch to win.
But which game? Because I know the game for me is empowerment for my people, for Africans. There's Africans and black people. Full stop. So we're talking about ADOS people who are not interested in Africans. They're only interested in African Americans. Then you might talk about people from look, you have this Jamaica, Barbados. It's just
that's funny though.
It's all bants, yeah. But let's say that there's gonna be a couple of people in that are taking it seriously. There are some Barbadians some Bajans that don't like Jamaicans and vice versa, and they take it as much as this bants.
Black Yorkshiremen.
They're taking it seriously. Wow. I didn't say that. So you get what I'm saying? Everybody has their own thing. So I think everybody on this table is in my team. But I'm going to go somewhere else and chat to somebody else, another black man, another Nigerian, and he ain't on my team. Even though I thought he was on my team. You get me?
Okay.
Is it because he's Igbo?
No, but maybe.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe he has a view on black women that we don't have. But he's meant to be on our team. But he's not on our team.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking about now, because we like to be selective about what we feel we got a responsibility for at times as well. That's why I say no. Because either you got a responsibility or you don't. And there's times when people are like, well, I've got a responsibility to support us black boys when it comes to stabbing and stuff like that. But then if I was to say you got a responsibility to maybe not talk about women's hair or whatever because it makes them feel unempowered or it makes them feel sad, I'm thinking you might say to me,
or just be faithful to women, full stop.
Or whatever that way. You might say to me, well, I don't care because I don't believe in that. So then, you know what I mean? It's all different. So with regards to mass media, no, I don't think it's their responsibility. They do what they want. It's up to me to decide whether or not I want to be participating in either watching these films, and it's up to me to for my family to make sure they do watch them or not watch them, or to educate them about why these things are out. It's up to me to make that decision, but it's not their responsibility to do any of that. It would be nice, as you said earlier, about like with the Tyler Perry thing. It would be nice. But it's not for them to have.
When you're saying mass media, I am kind of like cognizant of the fact that we live in a Western society where we are a minority population. So when you're talking mass media, is that what you're talking about in that geographic location? Or are you talking about mass media in general? Because I'm sure that there isn't a knife crime problem per se in Nigeria. So they don't need to have this.
If they have a kindness problem.
You joker. They don't need to have the narrative that you're talking about. I think this is kind of very location specific. They don't have a knife crime problem in America. They've got a gun problem. So it's very, I'm guessing you're talking into our particular context with us here. And if that's the case, you have to look at what the mass media actually means. Mass media is out for the masses, and the masses are not us. We're a minority. So is it their responsibility to now show positive narratives for a minority? If it comes at the cost of the majority, then one can argue that they shouldn't do that because it's mass. We're looking on mass to optimize the masses.
But if it comes at the cost of the majority, then if us as the minority being looked at in a negative light, then the rest of the majority will look at us in a negative light.
Yeah, but that's our problem. It's not the majority's problem.
But it's mass media's responsibility.
It's not their responsibility.
You don't think it's their responsibility?
No. Why?
But
so I hate people that talk about it's your responsibility. No, it's not your no.
If the media was showing you just bare negativity, wouldn't you think, why are you showing me bare negativity?
No, I know why. They don't care. I don't have to like it. There's a big difference between what I like and what I expect.
But the media are held accountable sometimes for the content that they put out there.
They are, but it doesn't mean that
get
they're
me?
responsible.
Yeah, but the content.
They are
falls-
responsible sometimes for the content.
Okay, well, are we talking about, but it depends how we're looking at it. Are we talking about responsible, like in government type of responsibility, as in that we've got rules, a set of rules, and you need to be responsible within those guidelines?
Well, if the
are we talking about, do you think personal responsibility for
No,
that?
I think that what they do now in the mass, like, I don't know, let's talk about television, for example. They now try to show more programs that represent the country that we live in, for example. So whereas before you would barely see anything of black content on the TV, anything of Asian content on the TV. You might have had one program, The Real McCoy or whatever, and now there's a whole load of things out there for us to watch. And I think that people have said it's your responsibility to put content that represents us. So
but then you also have to take into account that the content that's put out isn't representing the country that we live in. It's representing the town that we live in or the city that we live in. It doesn't represent the country that we live in. So if you've got national television showing all of these black shows, there's going to be bare people that are between London and Manchester and Birmingham and all in those smaller towns and smaller villages and what have you that have no idea and no context of what these programs are about because they don't have a black population. So it's not relative to them at all.
Out of every
it's all about
network,
variety, isn't it?
BBC's the only one where I say that they may have a responsibility to make sure that they have the whole demographic on their channel simply because they force us to pay for it.
And
if you wasn't forced to pay for it, I wouldn't have said this.
Okay, from that argument, I can take it. I can take
forced
it.
to pay for it.
That argument, I can go with that argument completely.
Fair enough. I'll concede on that one.
Yeah, because we're forced to pay for it. So if you're going to make me pay for something, I want to see something that represents me.
100%.
But if you're asking me if their responsibility from other channels to be, and again, that don't have to, for me, that still doesn't mean it has to be positive. You just have to show a black face because it's something black. I need to see something that represents us as the people.
And as much as we are the minority, we're the biggest consumers, are we not?
Yeah, but that's our problem. That's not.
I'm not saying it's a problem, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we're happy to consume their media, innit?
Exactly.
Yeah, and what he's saying, what Webbs is saying, is that if there was more content of positive content out there, then we, as the biggest consumers, will buy into it.
No,
so wait. Hang on.
Positive stuff.
Hang on.
Are you happy to consume negativity around your own?
What consuming media?
Watching negative.
Yes.
Watching
That's why I
negative
watch
highlights
negative
of
films.
yourself.
So you're talking about real life now, or what?
No, I'm not. I'm just
Then
talking in general.
I enjoyed Top Boy.
I enjoyed Power. I enjoy all. I enjoy.
I don't know about the last
Snowfall.
episode.
I enjoyed this. I enjoy all of these things that all could be seen as negative.
Sorry,
and
simple.
I watched them all.
Simple.
And you would watch things that were not so negative.
No,
as
maybe
well.
I wouldn't. You know.
Yeah, but maybe you would. But,
No, I don't know.
But the content is just.
There
not
is
there
plenty
for you.
of things that are positive, and I don't watch them because I find them boring.
I think as we're all adults and we're all of a certain age, if we're watching things like that, we're not going to be influenced in the way a young mind would be.
But that's not you ask though. You're asking whether or not we consume it, and I'm saying yeah, I would.
No, I'm asking if it's a responsibility to be shown in a positive
No, I'm
light.
talking about the last question.
No, the last question. Yeah, we consume it. I mean, we all consume the negative stuff and we all enjoy it.
I'm glad you said that.
We do.
But so Mr. Wolf, my point here is, you're saying that if they showed positive stuff. So you've made an interesting statement. First of all, you said that we're the biggest consumers. So as the situation currently stands, from a media point of view, they are putting out this narrative of media about this subsection of people within the society. This narrative, we can argue, is majority negative. Yeah? And the biggest consumers are still consuming it. What incentive as a mass media do I have now to make positive imagery of this group of people if they're actually consuming the negative stuff hand over fist? It doesn't make any sense.
I think that's part of our issue is that because we have negative content, the negative content is making money, so forget about everything else. Let me ask you guys why then you choose not to watch slave films then?
I don't choose to watch them.
Yes, you have said that.
No,
I have never said that.
I watched them. I watched all of them.
If there were
I said that-
new
I said that-
slave
I said-
films that were to come out, like things
No,
like
I don't think I said that. I would never watch
all
that.
right. I think
I would watch them.
I think in a previous podcast,
No, I
all
said
of
that.
you
I
have
said that I prefer that if they did, there's always show them. Like I don't want to always see slave films, but I didn't say I wouldn't watch
I
that one.
didn't even say that.
What did you say?
I don't say anything. Whenever you say that it's too much, I don't keep my mouth closed. I don't, because
I never said this too much. I said that I understand why there are things like Roots came out, and I said that I understand why there's a new Roots, that there are some young children who don't know the story of Roots.
Yeah, I said I'm not watching Roots again.
Yeah,
But that's because there's already a Roots.
I know, but I'm just saying that I'm just using that as an example, innit? So I said that I get why that there may be some slave films out there, that there are some people that don't know about the slave story and they may have some interest in it. So that's why I kind of co-signed the idea of maybe another slave film. But you guys were kind of gave this impression like, nope, I don't want slave films. I don't want to watch them no more.
Yeah, I would still watch them. I'm telling you now.
Because to me, that's negative.
No, but
like,
you're saying
like
your question was
idea.
You said to me I would never watch one again. That's not the case. I'm saying I don't really want to watch them anymore. If I'd rather have there be other films. But if one came out and I think it's good, I'm gonna watch it.
Like what?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe films about things that was in the past before slavery.
Okay.
So maybe stuff like that.
So but a positive light.
Maybe it could be positive. It could also be seen as negative depending on how you look at it. Yeah? But let me give you a simple positive negative thing. And it depends on how you look at it again. Yeah. All right, so there are albums. Most albums, they come out, yeah? They have a clean version, which has no swearing. Sometimes it takes out the N-word. Sometimes it even takes out the two gun references and blah, blah, blah. And then they've got an uncut version, which is raw. When are you ever going to listen to the clean version?
When you have children.
When I'm around my kids.
You listen to the clean version of albums?
Yeah.
When my daughter's in the house.
You all listen to the clean version of albums?
She's got her own playlist on my Tidal, and if I can't find a clean version, then the song just doesn't go in there.
No, I'm talking about okay. Forget your kids. I'm talking about you.
F those kids.
No, because you, I'm talking about.
No, you asked the question.
But I'm talking about you.
I don't listen to clean versions of music for myself.
If they swear, I swear in it. It's like, if they're swearing, you know what I mean? I have an issue with them overdoing the N-word, and I don't particularly like it. But
But you're not going to search for the clean version, though, if you're for yourself.
For myself, no.
Because you prefer the uncut version.
Not necessarily.
Then you go to the clean version, then, innit?
No, because I have to then go out of my way to pick the clean version.
I don't know. The one I've got is always next to each other, so I don't know.
Okay.
And I know whenever I pick head of the clean version, I even get annoyed. Like, what's this? And I can go for the swearing.
Because they'll do like the kind of reverse sound of the swearing, which kind of spoils the song in a whole. You get me?
Why do that? Especially when I know a song as well.
I would prefer them just not to swear.
Or
say the N-word.
I get a clean version because of my daughter and that. And if there is no clean version, I make one. So I will blot out the sound, put a beep there or something.
Oh, wow.
I actually just edit it myself.
It's like, there's a lot of artists out there that you can listen to that ain't going to say that much.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not listening to them.
My daughter likes to listen to crud though. That's the thing.
No, not just Will Smith.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to our next topic because time is running.
All right, so Webbs.
Yes, sir.
You're out, yeah? In a social environment and that.
Okay, I thought you meant closet, but cool.
He came out of the closet.
That's what you've been doing this time.
So you're in this
I'm out in a social environment.
Out in a social environment, and then a woman walks over to you, tries to stir up a conversation, establishes very early on that you're Nigerian, and then basically starts speaking to you in your native language. Is this
what's his native language?
What do you mean?
So she starts speaking to him in Igbo.
Or Igbo, Yoruba, whatever.
That is not my native language.
Exactly. She just established she was Nigerian. She didn't know where.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, cool. But let's just say she establishes from his name, for example. Okay, yeah. Right. So then,
what Webbs?
Web slinger. Native to Nigeria.
Or more Webbs. Or more Webbs. I can't roll. Anyway, she comes over to you and she establishes your native language and then starts speaking to you in your native language. Would that endear you to her, or would that be a put off?
Is she Caucasian?
Was that a question?
Well, yes and no.
She's of mixed heritage.
No, she could be Caucasian. She could just be anything other than Afrikaan.
So what? Because that's too blanket. Are you saying the woman is white or she's not white? Or she's just not so she's not Nigerian?
She's not Nigerian. She's not black. She's any other. So she could be Asian, Indian. She could be Middle Eastern or what have you.
And she talked to you in Yoruba.
And and she's speaking your language to you, and she's doing it specifically because she's worked out that you're from there and she knows your language. Would this be a turn on or would it be a turn off?
No, it'll be a turn on.
It won't be anything for me. I just want to know why you know it.
It'd be endearing. I'd be interested.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Not turn me on.
I don't know if it's going to turn me on.
Even a banger over it.
It'll be interesting. I would like to know. So if I wasn't going to have a conversation with that person,
say my name.
It might make me have a conversation with them.
What if they started mocking you in the language to say that you don't speak the language properly or whatever?
Well, then that's my own issue. I should speak the language.
That depends if you understand the mockage.
That's true. She's mocking your language. You don't understand it, boy. But it's my own issue. That's my own personal issue that I should never allow somebody to be able to get to that level where they can do that to me.
Is it acceptable though for somebody to come up to you and do that?
If somebody was English and they didn't know how to speak English, I would mock them the fact, how can you not speak English?
No, but I mean, is it acceptable for someone to come up to you and just be like, "Oh yeah, you're Yoruba. Let me just start speaking Yoruba to you." Is it like
what? Why not?
The mocking thing, I don't think is acceptable. By the way, I don't think it's necessarily acceptable for anyone that is looking at, in our case, a Nigerian born in this country that is raised not being able to speak the language, and then somebody, whether they're Nigerian or European or Asian or whatever, because they can speak the language, then to come and mock you because you can't. Don't judge me.
Trigger them, boy.
Yeah, no, really, because I don't think it's cool when a Nigerian person does it.
Nigerians are the worst as well.
So it's not that it doesn't happen with me. It happens. And then it's like, yeah, but I didn't, if I grew up in Nigeria and I didn't understand the language, then
Shombo Yoruba now. No uncle, no auntie.
So, you get me? It's just, I just don't think it's necessary. Or if they do it, that doesn't mean it's cool. Because then it's like, I'm going up and I'm insulting you because you don't have money to buy certain clothes.
That's
or
true.
I'm insulting you because you don't have this job. Or I'm insulting, you just insult people because they can't do something. Is that where we are in life now?
I hear you.
So,
the reason why I asked the question though is because there's like been a bunch of videos going around. I've seen at least 3, recently of very, very Caucasian women.
That counts as a bunch.
Very, very.
Very, very Caucasian women. As in, they don't even remotely look like they're anything other than Caucasian, if you get what I mean.
So
From the Caucasus Mountains.
You talk about non-Eastern Europeans.
It's like they're, yeah. Anyway, and
Vikings.
They've been speaking like native African languages in the videos, and obviously I'm black and the people that are sending it around are black, and it's like there's just massive praise, and it's like, oh yeah, this is imagine, listen to how well she's saying it, or oh yeah, she's saying it with a slightly English accent, but her grammar and everything is correct and all the rest of it, and it just seems to be this.
I don't know if we think that
mystery.
I don't know sometimes how if I was a white person, how I would take it. Do I take it as these people think that my people are so dumb that we can't speak another language?
I don't think a white person will take it like that. I think a white person, if they've gone out of their way to learn language.
No, I'm just talking about whites in general, not that particular white person that's gone out of their way. I'm talking about whites. You've seen all these blacks going overboard because somebody else can speak a different language, and they're fixing them. So what? If your black person was, if you just showed a video of a black person speaking English very well,
but that's the norm.
in I don't know where they speak different countries there, yeah, and they can speak proper English, the Queen's English, the finest English, right? And then white people was posting it around saying, "Look at this guy that comes from the village speaking the finest English." You would be mad, like, what kind of person are you? Dumb? Like, of course you speak English. Are you stupid? So
yeah, but then
why wouldn't you feel? I don't understand.
No, because the context here is that, whether we like it or not, and British people themselves will know this, British people don't tend to learn another language. It is very, very common that they don't learn another language. Equally, Americans also don't generally learn another language.
Apart from Spanish.
Maybe in certain parts, but generally speaking, white Americans don't speak a second language, and white British people generally don't speak a second language. And not even just a second language that's all the way from a different continent. They don't speak a second European language in most cases.
Yeah, they don't usually have to.
I'm in Spain, I want chips, alright?
And so that's the point. Do you get what I mean? So when you to your comment about whether they think people are looking at them like they're stupid because they're speaking another language. It might happen, but then on the same token, it probably doesn't, because the person who's viewing it is like, well, they probably don't speak another language themselves.
I don't know. I just think it's strange. I think it's odd the way that we praise people for things that we do so easily ourselves. But that's
but we have a necessity to do those things so easily ourselves. We have a necessity as African people. Doesn't matter which part of the African continent you're from, you almost by default learn a second language, because you have
some of them are forced to.
You have the colonial influence that will force you to do that. So, but I would say at a bare minimum, a large number of Africans speak 2 languages, which is whatever their native language is and a form of English.
Yeah, because I asked my mum, and I was like, how do you know English? Because we were talking in the car, and she was saying something to me in Yoruba, and I was talking back to her, and I was like, it's okay. So then she was like, she was trying to explain it in English as well, and I was like, I can't even explain it in English. So I said, how do you even learn how to speak English anyway? And she's like, I learned how to speak English at school. So she didn't learn it through her home. Like, her parents didn't speak to her in English.
Yeah.
She learned English in school. Obviously, she speaks her native language, which is Yoruba at home, and then learned actually how to speak English in school. But how many of us, it's just mad, how many of us learn different, but then again, I suppose we only learn it for a couple of years. And the years that we learn it is probably not the formative years. Whereas they learn it probably from the formative years of maybe 4 to something, they'll probably learn English.
Everybody's speaking English.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, in certain places, not everywhere. But in our particular situation, we learn how to speak a second language when you're 17, like when you're 13, 14. Because you learn it not even at the beginning of secondary school. But not even the beginning.
Yeah,
it's like at the
3
end.
years or
last 3
something,
years you start learning the language. It's like it doesn't even cross their mind to give you a different language at the beginning.
And then also the language that you learn, whether it works for you as in being something that's functional, depends entirely upon what you do after school.
Yeah.
As opposed to learning English, like it opens the world to you.
I work in a place where there's a lot of multilingual people.
Yeah.
For the purpose of business, they're multilingual. So you go down to certain areas and certain floors, and you just say one person speaking in German, one person speaking in Swiss German, one person speaking in French, one person speaking in this, one person, and I'll be like, right, and then turn around, they're all speaking to you in English.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But it shows, anyway, England, as much as people want to cuss them and whatever, if I was English, I'll feel proud about the fact that this little small dot of the world has managed to have such an impact on everyone that way.
They do feel proud. That's why they behave the way they behave.
But I don't know if they have that sense of it.
No, they got that sense of pride, mate. It's like Royal Britannia, you rule the waves.
I don't know if all of them do.
And the only ones that don't have it is them super woke people that feel like they're almost apologetic for what we've done to you.
That's subconscious. I don't know if they're actually out there were thinking, they actually think about it. Right, this little small island has made everyone in the world speak this one particular language. Like everyone. I think that's probably why everyone hates the Chinese, because they refuse to bow down to these particular types of circumstances. And it's so deep that in this country, you know, it's only when you hear certain things like people getting upset with grandmas, especially Asian grandmas that don't know English. It's like the biggest deal for English people. Your grandma should know it. But why? We speak to my grandma.
She's been here long enough.
In this language. Why must she know English? She must know it. She lives here. She must know it. But you live there, you don't know that thing over there. Yeah, but. So that's the only time I really see them get into this language.
They hate, they also hate when you speak street slang that is English and then they can't understand what you're saying. I think it's just generally not being, they have positioned themselves in such a way that they should always be able to understand what's being said around them. And when they can't, it drives them nuts.
I heard somebody talking about that in a shop the other day. I was walking past and they was talking about some other colleagues and they were like, I don't like them. And they're like, I was thinking, ooh, it's getting juicy. And they're like, why? And it's like, cause they always speak to each other in their language when they're in front of me. They never speak in English when they're in front of me. And I don't like them because of that. And I'm like, rah. So you speaking in your native language in front of them, they might not understand you. That's not a problem. Yeah. But when it's the reverse, it's an issue.
That's what I'm saying.
To the point where you don't even like them.
That's the same point I'm making. That is the behavior.
Yes, you're in England. Yes, I understand, but fine. But you
speak in English in England.
Yeah, but if they can't speak English, let's say they can't really speak English
in work.
No, but they can speak. No, because they might be working in the back and they don't have to really be front of house. They don't have to speak to somebody. They just need to know how to move boxes.
I can understand why an English person gets upset at people living in this country not speaking English.
But other countries as well.
What do you mean?
Because sometimes they get vexed with people in other countries.
Yeah, that's different. That's why I didn't mention that. I said in this country, I can get it. Whether I agree with it or whatever, it's not even, I don't even see a big deal. Again, It's not that big
But
a deal.
again, even when you speak slang English, as long as they can't understand you, that's what it is. It's not necessarily what language you're speaking. It's just as long as they can't understand you.
So Britain's happy to embrace multiculturalism, just not the language.
No, they're not happy to embrace. They're happy to take.
Embrace, take, love, show.
embrace,
Love, honor, and
embrace.
obey.
Show some sort of contra deal. Like we are both happy to be embraced. Not I'm gonna take your food. I'm gonna take your
Food?
resources. I'm gonna take Well, after food in this country, where's it come from? Have you seen that tweet thread of? I think it's the Somalian woman that said that all non-white people should leave this country. And what did she say? She said Eastern Europeans. I'm not like you can do what you want. You could be one of us, but that's your business, isn't it? I'm not really counting you because you did something to us or whatever. So she did this long thread of the Asians should go and take this with them. The blacks and Africans should go back to Africa. And she said, like all Western countries, like all white Western countries, everybody should actually go back to where everyone should go back to where you come from and take all your resources. She's like, America and the UK would, and Western Europe would just crumble.
They have guns.
And potatoes.
Yeah, so what you're talking about war? Forget war.
Guns and potatoes.
Let's not say that they're gonna come and try and now take from you. It's just
No, I'm just saying that's what they got. Guns.
Oh, okay.
Potato guns.
I haven't seen a potato gun in years.
They just got guns, man.
What are they called?
Yeah.
Webley Quest or whatever they
Like I always say, if you built a wall around Africa and they said, all right, and latest to everyone else, what do you need outside of Africa if you're inside Africa? Nothing. Whereas in all the rest of the world,
interracials,
electricity.
and on that note,
But we can make electricity in Africa.
yeah, we just don't do it well.
Solar panels.
There you go. We got bloody deserts.
Yeah.
Ready to collect sun and distribute. And to be honest, as much as we're mocking, in reality, some of the most ingenious and breathtaking examples of new tech and new examples of
Come
things
out of Africa,
is coming out of some of the poorest parts in Africa. And these people are building solar panels out of their old
They are actually
calendars
MacGyver.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actually, MacGyver.
Fully fledged MacGyver.
Yeah, but they have no resources or anything to push out there and for it to be mass produced.
I ain't got my phone with me, so Mr. Wolf, can you help me out at some point with this, yeah? Because we're kind of coming up to a close, but
We're going.
it is Black History Month in the UK. We haven't really spoke about it or celebrated in that much of a way. But I did see a tweet today that was quite interesting about Black History Month, this particular month, and they were speaking about one of the people that we've actually spoke about today, which was Tyler Perry and him opening his studio and that being a massive thing for Black History Month. Mm-hmm. There was also somebody on this very weekend, a Kenyan man, that ran a marathon.
Oh yeah.
Under 2 hours.
Yeah, under 2 hours, yeah.
Now, that for me is fantastic because he's done it and no one else has done it. Do you know how old this man is? 34 years of age.
Oh dear.
34 years of age. And he managed to run a marathon that no one has done under 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah, he cut the time by 20 seconds.
Yeah, he's a Kenyan man. So his name is, this is what I need you to help me out with. And stuff you might have to help me out with the next one. Because there's another thing that they highlighted as well is somebody that's spoken about quite often, which I believe is the leader of Ethiopia.
Yeah.
He won a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
For his efforts with Eritrea, and I think he's also trying to help with South Sudan.
His
And
name is Eliud Kipchoge.
big him up. Big him up.
Breaks the 2 hour marathon mark by 20 seconds.
Do you know what was so beautiful about that moment?
I missed it though.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Let me tell you what's so beautiful about that moment. When he was running, all the rest of the runners that were behind him were screaming him on. Like, they were screaming him on to get to the finish line. It was crazy. So the other runners, they're running along, but you could hear them because obviously they know they're not going to win anymore. But they were like, go on, when they was running behind him.
Are you sure they were one of his because they were all wearing the same clothes?
I don't know, but somebody behind him was running along.
No, there was about 5 or 6 of them, but they were all wearing the same like logo and everything. Somebody's telling me that was his team that is just like...
I don't know, but
like
they were on the track, running behind him, screaming him on, and it was so beautiful. And it's like people were all coming together. When he crossed the line, everybody was there hugging him. Kenya's gone mad today. The whole of Kenya was doing like one big day for him and everything in Kenya.
I put Kenyan runner in Google, and the first question, you know, they have the questions.
Yeah.
The first question, why are Kenyan runners so good?
That was somebody did tell me today.
Kenyan Brigid Kosgei today she beat Paula Radcliffe's marathon record.
Did she?
Yeah.
Paula Radcliffe had the record.
She had the marathon
You know
record
what,
for women, and you spoke about a guy who was 35 years old.
34
years old. She's 16.
16? Big up herself as well.
Hey, bang, 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 bang.
Paula Radcliffe, I have to rate her though, man. That one took a piss on the street. Rags.
Is that why you rate her?
Yeah. I didn't carry it on running, fam.
So yeah, you have to mention the Ethiopian president's name. I can't believe I can't remember it.
Abiy
Haile Selassie?
Ahmed. Abiy Ahmed.
Big them up, man.
Okay.
Big them up back
Yeah,
here.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but
them up, big them up.
yeah, because he came into power. Well, I was mentioning it before, but he came into power and he tried to unify Ethiopia and Eritrea. They've had their beef in it, and they're in the process now, hopefully, of making things amend.
He won it because of the work he did in the first 100 days of his presidency or prime ministership or whatever it is. Yeah.
That's good anyway.
And one more thing I was watching before I left the house. Sorry to cut you off again. Coco Gauff, the young
tennis player
sensation. She won her first WTA title. today.
Wicked.
Oh, she won a title.
Yeah, for the first time.
Oh, big her up, and she's only 15, innit?
She's not even 16 yet.
She's
so
15.
Aye.
Listen, people are doing bits
Reincarnated, boy.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
They brought them all back.
Bro, listen, when her and Osaka had that game,
Yeah.
that was, you could just see the children of Serena. It was bad.
telling
Serena was just there looking at them like, look at my children. Look at my babies.
But don't leave out
Did you
Venus,
hear
know.
them
No,
afterwards?
I'm not leaving out Venus because Venus is the oldest as well.
Did you hear the
That is
interview
their
afterwards?
babies. Yeah.
The interview after the...
Yeah, she was crying. She was like,
Wow, because she was about to leave because Coco Gauff lost to Osaka.
She told her to
and
come
said,
back.
no, come. The people want to hear you. You get me? I'm not going to talk until you have your place to talk. And to see two black women there, very young, doing good, man, was a nice thing.
Obviously, one represents Japan, but we still claim.
But she bigs up her father.
Yeah, of course
a
she
lot,
does. But we
who
still
is
claim.
from Haiti.
We still claim. We know why she represents Japan, but we still claim.
One time.
You also want to big up another black woman?
Oh, yes. I was going to big her up from the beginning, but I forgot. But I want to big up, what is her at name?
My own royalty.
At my own royalty, yeah? Is it
That's,
my royalty?
My own royalty.
Is that one of the two?
Yes,
girls
one of the
from-
two girls from No Shade podcast.
Ladies.
The short hair one.
Girls, man. Because she was
Yeah,
G-Mother
cut her
before,
hair. She
but
cut
she
her
cut her hair.
Have you
She
seen-
took
you
the
seen-
trim, right? And
She's done the big chop.
she did the big chop.
Yeah, I told you about that a few weeks ago.
No, you're talking about a completely different girl.
No.
Are you doing my hair?
Yeah, man.
Oh, so she's had it for a long time.
The Nigerian one.
But I saw her not long ago. She had hair.
Oh, I mentioned it even on the podcast, man.
No.
That I wanted to
Okay, maybe not.
large her up, but you guys were thinking that I'm trying to move to her.
No, I thought you were talking about a different girl, bruv.
Is this one old, your age or a lot younger?
She's the lawyer.
No, different girl.
So we are talking about someone else.
Ah, all right.
They're different girl.
But they're both Nigerian women that have had the chop recently,
Yeah,
right?
had
So
the
let's
chop
bring them.
recently. Oh, okay,
let's bring
okay.
them both up.
Oh, the one I saw.
Yes.
Oh, the younger one.
Yes.
I knew that.
Yes, but when I say,
Bruv, let me show you a picture. No, we're not perfect. Who's messing with these cables?
I don't know who's missing. But I want to big her up because when I said that, for somebody her age as well, it's not easy to take the chop because not every young girl's prepared to take that chop, and I think she's early 20s or maybe she's late 20s now. I don't know.
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s. But the girl looks stunning. She looks stunning with her hair chopped. Keep that hair chopped, please. Don't go back to this long thing that you had on your head. That there.
Head chop.
No, when I saw her, I said,
That's more reason for her to put a wig on.
no,
isn't
when I saw her, I said, this girl, she did it. Apparently the barber was asking her like bare times. Barber, stop asking. Let's chop when they ask you to chop. Let's chop when they ask you to chop.
it? Raw, boy.
Hold on.
look good.
Let's pause 1 second.
These flipping cables out. Not even touching my cable, bro.
Who's blue? It's none of them.
It might be this headphone thing.
No, it's this. It's this one.
No, maybe.
No, I think
it is.
I think the computer's kind of
It's
moving
picking
it
it
around.
up. It's picking. Anyway, it's done. Now. It's done. All right.
Yeah, but I can't hear in this headphone now. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
it's that. It's
Okay.
that.
Okay.
No, she looked good. She looked
Look at
fantastic.
that.
Don't let people tell you can't chop
You
your
look
hair,
good
man.
before,
Look
but
at
now
look
you
at
look
our sister.
You look 10 times better.
Listen, we're always there to support our sisters getting the chop, right? Or even just having a natural hair. You don't have to get the chop. But
Natural.
that right there, I salute you.
My own royalty.
Got a good
Big
shaped
yourself
head as
up.
well.
Yeah. She talks. Big yourself up. Yeah, with the chop. The women that have said, you know what? It's time.
Those are good names, though.
To what?
She talks my own royalty.
Yeah. It's like queenly names.
Niger girls.
And I hope
She-
hope they find the kings that they're looking for because they've got good chops. Let them chop and go on, collect.
Got good chops.
And I want to shout out somebody. I'm not going to mention your name, but I tweeted you earlier on today. So any detectives who want to look at Jamie Vardy's like, what's her? Sorry, Rachel Vardy. What's her name?
Rebecca Vardy.
Rebecca Vardy.
Even if it would have what his name he could think of.
Becky.
If you want to find, so if you're doing your detective work, like, what's the other one?
Colleen Rooney.
Colleen. That is just the most ethel 60s name you could think of. Colleen. If you want to do your thing, you could find it. But she's another woman with a chop, and I just want to big her up and say you're a legend. You should. I'm hooking up with your cousin actually in a minute.
I know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna see your cousin in any minute now. You are a legend. You're a really special person. And whatever kind of funk you're in, get over yourself, because I don't meet people like you. Yeah, you are one of a kind. So you best pick your ass off your shoulders, pick yourself up, and do something with yourself.
Who is he talking about?
He doesn't want to say online.
Oh, okay, cool.
In case they start crying over something or another.
Off your shoulders.
What's today's date, by the way?
The 13th of October.
Okay, well, in 2 days' time will be the birthday of the legendary Fela Kuti.
So that's the day this is posted.
Yeah.
Baba
Fela Kuti was born the 15th October 1938.
All right. At Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. See you later, people.
Shout out our black women at the end of this podcast.
We should have done that at the beginning. That's what they will say. At Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. Keep going.
Yeah, I keep the best till last, man. DJ Websling on Instagram, DJ Websling on Twitter. Sticky fingered people later.
AKA Mr. Wolf on Insta, AKA _Mr. Wolf on Twitter.
Simplistic.
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter. I don't have Instagrams. Guys always say for life.
What's the translation in Igbo for that?
Get out of my life, brother.
Man's trying to insult your Igbo-ness, you know?
I'm just saying.
I am Stavros Bus. You can catch me at Stavros Bus everywhere. Collectively, you can catch all five guys not in the burger joint. You can find us at ESN Podcast on all social medias. Use the hashtag ESNPod. That is ESNPod to join in the conversation, discuss the knife crime, discuss the short-haired women. Should we be praising women just for cutting hair, or should we? What they're really going to say is you should have loved them, irrespective of how their hair is.
But I like their hair now.
All the stuff that we talked about this episode, holler at us. And if you want to help us celebrate our 9-year anniversary in the game,
cook us food.
If Mr. Webbs might want some food, by all means, find out where he lives and bring your
vagina.
And vagina juice on top of the food as well. I'm sure he'll take it because he's that kind of guy. Wow. I know when I was single, I would too. So,
you decrease. Well.
No, but what you can do for us, if you want to help us celebrate, we don't need any money. We don't need food. We don't need vagina juice. What we needed you to do is to rate and review us on whatever app you're listening to us. Please.
Cool.
It does help us move up the ranking.
Yep. Okay.
And then tell a friend to tell a friend.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't saying nothing, say it.
Slag for life. 9 years in the game. What is that? I thought you were gonna do a fella or something. Huh? I thought you were gonna do, at least I'm a fella, son.
Nah, I just wanted to do something. I want to
go. I was looking for the clip. You live to fight another day.